Oh, there we go.
Welcome to Rem and Sam. We
We're back.
are back. Back. You know, a little tough. Not live. Where IT's getting it figured out. They're helping Rem out there. We flew him
We're
out.
trying, people.
We flew out some IT personnel helping him out, but
We had to call in the pros, but we're working on it. We're gonna try to go live next week.
we'll get it. We'll get it. But Rem, I got to shout out the hoodie, Michigan supporting your team. I don't know. I had people
Yes,
saying
sir.
take Texas over Michigan. The odds were looking good. Shout out to BetStamp, our official odds makers. I don't know our official place to get odds on the pod. I don't know, Rem. What are you excited for with this team? I mean, no McCarthy, no Curran, no Harbaugh. What should give us the 45 seconds on Michigan this year?
Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I was not the most encouraged by what we saw from the Fresno State game, but I think there is still. I love Sharon Moore. I've been super positive about the vibes about having him there at the head coaching position, but I mean, it is going to be the big question mark for the team going forward. Is some of the newer talent that's there going to be able to be coached up the way that it is with Harbaugh? And we'll see what the long term thing is for Sharon Moore going forward, but it is a different challenge to keep a group of guys together in college football now because of the transfer portal and because of the mobility the guys have. And if there is another opportunity, both financially and for their playing time to set them up for better opportunities financially, if there's another situation that's going to benefit them more, the ability for them to go get that is way easier now. So, his ability to build out a team longer term and keep guys around, we'll see how that is. But in terms of the season to season individually, his ability to coach up the guys in the season, I mean, that is what Harbaugh was one of the things that made him one of the best coaches if not the best in the sport. And if, Sharon Moore is going to be able to, he's going to need to be able to do that with this group because we saw weaknesses in the offensive line. And we know that the quarterback position is also going to be a question mark going forward because they had to play two guys last week.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how your
I mean, do
team
you think
does.
they're a
Also,
playoff team this year?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, now
It's close. They're
playoff
on the
team is
edge.
no longer four, it's 12. You guys are already ranked 10th. You
Can we
know,
get it to move it to 16?
like I think there's a chance you guys could finish in the top 12. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that bad, but we'll see. Also, we're live watching the Packers
Yeah.
playing the Eagles. Second quarter, about almost 5 minutes, 19-14 Packers. Um, right now, if you want to see our fantasy teams, check our Instagram. Right now, my receivers, Xavier Worthy and Jaden Reed, both
Yeah.
each
Check
having
Sam's
two
team.
touchdowns. I, you know, I we were my team. I'm sorry, my person I'm playing, Steven, he's getting the beat down right now. Um, But I did have Lamar as my quarterback. I think he only put up 20 points. It was pretty chill as PPR league. Um,
No, I think
Thankfully
he
those
ended up
rush
having a
yards
good
saved it.
game because he had all those rushing
Yeah,
yards.
yeah,
If
all
we're
those
talking
rushing yards
fantasy.
help.
So
But
anyway,
I
the
guess
pick
that's
and the fumble.
going a little bit into that game in real life. I mean, Rem, that game, in my opinion, it was only one touchdown away, and of course, it's the toe, and we can talk all that. It was kind of worrying to me the consistency of bad throws from Lamar. Like we didn't. He's been what in the league, what 5, 6 years, two-time MVP, and we still haven't seen him really take that step in terms of kind of new nuance throwing, like recognizing where defenses are, leading his wide receivers out in front. I mean, that Zay Flowers, pass is pretty rough, but there was plenty of other chances, especially in that drive after Roquan Smith got that interception from my guy, which is the problem now.
Yeah.
So, but there's just not capitalizing on that drive. There were just some throws that were a little bit off, or he just didn't recognize defense. And but Ram, I mean, does it matter? I mean, they were a toe away from potentially winning this game or taking it to overtime.
I know you said that you were concerned about Lamar, but just in general, like, do you have good vibes about like, is that how you view this game going forward? Is it, yeah, the Ravens are actually a couple plays away from the Chiefs, who, you know, I mean, like you've said in your reaction to the game, if you guys go to our YouTube page, that yeah, you guys got lucky, but we all still walk away from the game going, yeah, it's Pat Mahomes, it's the Chiefs. They look like the front runner to win the Super Bowl, and the Ravens were a couple plays away. Is that how you take away this game, or are there actual things? Because I don't know. I kind of saw a couple things in this game where it was like, I don't want to get too dramatic here, but the Lamar thing was definitely one
No,
of them
let it
where,
fly.
yeah, I mean, it's week one. Let's overreact. The Lamar thing was definitely one of them where it was like, are they just not going to be able to have explosive plays and have any kind of deep element to this offense? Because
Exactly.
you're right, that is just not there for him. And it's, I don't know if it's necessarily the receivers not being able to do it. Yeah, maybe the receiver core is not still the strongest in the league, but Zay Flowers is there. He's a year better. And I mean, we saw in some of the games that he was explosive. It seemed like there was a couple of plays to Bateman down the field as well, too. And like you said, the throw to Flowers was way off. And yeah, I mean, that play to Likely, the vibe right now for that play is Likely as Kevin Durant. He didn't get his foot down, but that's not really what happened. Like, Likely made an effort. Likely made basically almost a catch on an uncatchable ball. Like, that was not really a good pass by Lamar. The pass was definitely
And
off target.
oh,
And I mean, that was
yeah.
just back-to-back throws that he didn't get. Likely made an insane play and almost brought down a pass that, should have gone out the back of the end zone. So yeah, all the deep stuff right now for the Ravens is one of the stuff that I take away from this game and go, there might be a couple things here from the Ravens that are actually pretty concerning.
No, it's very concerning. And going back to that Likely play, I mean, it was first of all, major respect to him, because for them to even be close in that game was because of Likely, where he caught the pass, and ran. I don't even know how many yards, most of the field, and he pretty much his talent really showed, making moves to score the touchdown. But it wasn't he had to create something. Likely had to create something out of a normal kind of slant route where he beat the linebacker and was able to get a touchdown. And that's the only reason why the Ravens were close. I mean, that's what closed the gap. It wasn't really like a scheme or something. They got away from the run earlier than they should have. And when you look at those last couple plays at the end of the game near the end zone, that's where you really see concerning things for Lamar, where he throws the first pass, the first time he targeted Likely in the end zone. It was so far that like Likely he fell on his ribs and got hurt. I mean, he's
Yeah, the one in the
literally
back of
like
the end zone.
groaning. Yeah, that was crazy. So, and
I
then the
forgot about that.
next,
I thought Likely was going to be out. I was like, did Likely just like
yeah,
break his rib, puncture a lung? Is he out for the game?
exactly. Exactly. It was bad. And then the next play, I guess Lamar said he threw to someone else. Like he wasn't going for Zay Flowers, which makes it an even worse throw. I don't I don't know who he was
Just
throwing
say
to
you were
there,
going for
but
Flowers.
exactly. And then, like you mentioned, that last play, throw it up to Likely. I mean, I kind of get it in that scenario. I mean, obviously it was too high. And then he stepped on the line, and then Lamar, after the game, he still hung up on whether it was a touchdown or not. He's like, "Oh yeah, I still think it was a touchdown." What do you mean? like,
We
and
have a
I
photo,
understand
Lamar.
exactly. Like, and I'm not even trying to be like, a bad loser or something, but that just creates more drama for your team. Move on, take the L, and continue in business. That's what the good teams do. When you take an L, you're like, "All right, done. We're done with that. That's over." Especially when it's a game that close and you start saying, "Oh, I was trying to hit someone else. Oh, that's still a touchdown. There's no way that was a touchdown. That wasn't a touchdown." Like you're just making more drama about a game that's over. Like there's no point to litigate it in the press conference because that gives people fuel. That gives social media fuel, and that gives the media fuel in general, IG us, to continue talking about this game when you definitely want to keep it moving. Because I mean, and I'll admit, I mean, I wanted Likely to get that touchdown. I mean, of course, I want the Chiefs to win,
Sam's like, I
but if
wanted him to win a game.
and of course I want the Chiefs to win, but if there was a way to lose, I would have much preferred that than Derrick Henry running in from the 1 yard line. And Likely
Hmm.
deserves all the props, all the flowers, and That's a really tough loss. But throughout, it was just crazy because I was shout out watching it live, watching it with Papa Price, and just every time I looked up on a Ravens drive, he always threw it behind the line, and the Chiefs love that. Like you're not going to attack them deep. They're going to run downhill and just like really tackle them and keep them behind that first down line. And they just kept throwing most of Lamar's throws. Like he didn't really test the deep, and he mostly it was below the first down line, and he would just throw lasers every time, and it was very concerning to watch.
And it's funny that that's kind of flipped as well too, just for the way that Lamar is placed as a quarterback. Because when he was entering the league in the draft, it was the deep ball is sort of his best element as a passer, and some of the
Yeah.
short and intermediate stuff is where he's going to struggle the most. But I mean, in this game, that's the short and intermediate stuff is where their offense made a living. And I mean, Lamar was still incredible in this game. And, I, he is the most confusing guy right now in the league because, I mean, and you could see as well, too, why he needed to, I guess, maybe not why he needed to sort of justify that performance a little bit. But I mean, this was the game for the Ravens that they had to win because now, I mean, I don't really
Yeah.
know how the rest of the season, like we can view this team going forward. Like really the only way that people are going to get back on this team positive vibes wise is if they actually beat the Chiefs in a playoff game. Like that's really the only thing left that they can do to get people back on them is pause in terms of like them winning the Super Bowl. I guess if there's a situation where they don't have to go play the Chiefs in a playoff route, but I mean, I feel like I've been as much of a guy that's like, hey, yeah, let's like Lamar can definitely win a playoff game, build a team around him. Like, definitely have still believed in Lamar as a playoff guy. But I mean, Mahomes is the Michael Jordan of our times. Like, he's the guy
Yeah.
that nobody can beat. So maybe it's not a fair comparison, but it's definitely becoming like, yeah, Lamar is. I mean, we already knew that Mahomes was on his own level, but I mean, Lamar himself is kind of solidifying his place in a tier behind Lamar with the way he's been playing lately.
No, for real. And with Lamar, I mean, during this game, there's just an unwillingness to throw through tight windows. And most of the NFL is going to be tight windows. And so for him, it's like, do I chuck it to this tight window or do I try to scramble and get 3+ yards, which, you know, is game one. And mind you, this was probably the toughest time to face the Ravens because they were fully healthy. But once the season
Mm.
drags on, like Lamar's going to start taking those hits, and it's going to have a toll. It just is. And I know this isn't his first year. He's not some rookie, but at some point, getting tackled over and over is going to have a toll. So I'm really concerned about their future. I mean, that's why I drafted Kirk Cousins on my fantasy team. And in my opinion, last year was the Ravens' best shot. You have Mike McDonald making magic on the defensive side.
Mm.
You have historic stats on the offensive side. Your team is really rolling. You have the MVP playing MVP level. I think we were on the road, right? That was in Baltimore, or am I making this up?
I think that was in
That
Baltimore.
yeah, I think AFC Championship game was in their building, and they just didn't figure it out. Yeah, I think that was in Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
at home for the Ravens.
yeah, so we had to go to Baltimore, and yeah, that was their chance. That was their chance. They still had Gus Edwards. I think he's gone. I mean, they still had Odell. He played in this game. Likely was there. Mark Andrews I think got hurt, but that was their chance, and they didn't do it. They didn't follow through. And now they just have a flat out worse version of their team than last year. I mean, yes, maybe there'll be some growth, definitely growth we've seen from Likely in terms of how aggressive and his connection with Lamar, and stuff like that. But to think that their last two games have both been losses to the Chiefs, you know, it's kind of telling that your last team that you played was the Chiefs, and then the next season, and of course, Chiefs are going to roll, but I'm really worried about, the Ravens getting over the hump. Now, in terms of the regular season, they're gonna get wins. There's gonna be great days. They're gonna be, oh my goodness, look at Lamar. He, did 3 spin moves against the Titans. But, with the quality of quarterbacks and teams in this conference, well, in this
Hmm.
league, it's you're not hoping some 2-time MVP is there to get you to the conference championship every year.
And you mentioned Mike McDonald as well too. I mean, again, you could take away from this game that the playoffs or that the Ravens are still locked for the playoffs, but I thought that was another
Yeah.
thing that really stood out in terms of the big picture for this team was I thought some of the defensive coaching stuff that was happening for this Ravens team was definitely not, like you're saying, up to the level that Mike McDonald was doing last year. And I mean, we'll get to see what kind of head coach he is with this Seahawks team, but as a defensive coordinator, like, I mean, just think of Kyle Hamilton, for example. Like, I mean, we were probably the number one pro Kyle Hamilton pod out there. I feel
Oh,
like we didn't
yeah.
see anything from him in this game.
No.
I'd have to double check his stat line in terms of like tackles and stuff, but I also felt like I wasn't seeing him in the same spots that he was last year in
Yeah.
Mike McDonald's defense. I felt like he was
Hmm.
in in Mike with Mike McDonald, he was more around the box and or pause and making plays, down around the line of scrimmage. But I felt like in this game he was more in the backfield, free safety, covering up some of the deep ball stuff. And also, just like a big majority of your offense in this game was like getting Rashee Rice matched up on linebackers and Xavier Worthy and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, this is great schematic stuff by Andy Reid for sure. But also, just there was times that Rashee Rice would just straight up be lined up on Roquan Smith on the play. And it's like, okay, there needs to be
Yeah.
some adjustment here to make
Yeah.
sure that these linebackers aren't on these receivers one on one all the time. And it was just, I mean, Rashee Rice was just work in the middle of the field because he was just getting these matchups that were super favorable for him against this Ravens defense. And, on the other side of the ball as well, too, maybe it's just the week one sort of working your way back into the season, but just a super sloppy performance from the Ravens in terms of some of the formation stuff and just not getting set
Hmm.
properly. And I know, the Chiefs definitely, there's some calls that are going around, and I know it's the Chiefs. The refs are definitely on their side. Make no mistake, but the Ravens were not prepared to. They were just not mentally in the game as well too, with all the lapses with some of the formation stuff. So I thought the coaching was, really subpar for this game. I don't know if John Harbaugh is super scared that his brother Jim's in the league now. I don't know if you saw the graphic that said as well too that John Harbaugh is also like the second oldest coach in the league now. That Pete
Yeah, I saw
Carroll,
that.
Belichick, and all that stuff. So maybe his age is finally showing.
60. 60. Yeah, no, I mean, also saw a play where oh yeah, on that last drive, those last 2 passes, Justice Hill had to block Chris Jones.
Yeah, like
A
what are we
D
doing?
lineman, like,
If you're
that's,
gonna block, just put in Ricard.
I don't, I don't get it. And it's just like Lamar definitely felt the pressure, like, and that may have probably contributed to that Zay Flowers behind the back, not great pass.
For
If
sure.
he had, what's his face? If he had a better blocker to get Chris Jones, who knows? And then the timeouts. The timeouts were crucial. Taking those 2 timeouts early in the third when you know you have a chance to make this
Yeah.
game close and maybe even, use them a little bit and later in the fourth so you can score twice. It was just, and allowing you to run the ball because that's, I mean, their biggest strength. You have Derrick Henry, you have that, and not being able to use that killed them in the second half. All righty. We're back.
Sam had to take a halftime break to cook up some fries. R.I.P. the air fryer in
RIP.
Sam's apartment.
RIP,
Oh,
but just
are
like a
we getting
job
that
at
front squeaky?
corporate. Hey, RIP, but just like a job at corporate, it's getting replaced the next day. Everything's replaceable, everyone replaceable. So
Next
we
man
keep
up.
it pushing. They're lucky I'm busy today. Would have done the same day.
Hmm.
Body
I mean, the
body
air
is
fryer is
probably
one of
still a little
those
warm.
necessities, though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the you just done and done.
You don't even
That's
think
out
about
of
it.
the
You just
emergency
start
fund.
grabbing your keys, walk into your car. You're like, okay, well, I guess it's getting replaced right away.
Yep.
I mean, how
I thought
often
about it.
do you use, like, is it every meal?
Um, I wouldn't
I mean,
say
twice a day.
I'd say like per week, it covers a good half to 60% of my meals. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Yeah.
not even crazy, and that's not even you like tapping out. I mean, it's the air fryer. You're making good stuff in there. You're getting
And it's
quality
like the
meals.
range of stuff you can make. You can do all meats in there. It's just, yeah. And then I do it in the oven. And then obviously the side that's on the actual pan burns compared to the rest of the fry. It's like, oh my gosh.
Wait, so what's your fanciest air fryer meal?
Um, I've
Do you have any
had
like actual
salmon.
recipes?
Yeah, I've had like salmon made in there with some
Salmon?
nice potatoes. Yeah, salmon.
Salmon?
I don't know. Salmon. I've had salmon made in there. I haven't made it, but I had someone make it for me. Salmon. I've seen. Like I haven't had, but I've seen like raw chicken and stuff. I'm definitely putting the raw chicken in the oven, but
Hmm. But it would be fine in the air fryer. I
yeah,
mean,
it'd make
you
it.
already cook what? Chicken tenders? Fried chicken?
Mm. Yeah, just heat them up. I mean,
I feel
most of
like
them
I've
are
done
like
that.
frozen and fully cooked. Yeah.
I've definitely done raw chicken straight in. Pause.
Mm, that's crazy.
A little bit, but it's good in the air fryer. Make no mistake.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it sounds like the move. Sounds like the move. Right now, Packers up 26-24, and they're marching down the field. I don't know. Love cooking a little bit. And we've already seen him make throws that Lamar didn't even make last night. So contract worth
Oh.
it? I don't know.
Oh.
No.
Lamar needs to get Jordan Love's agent. Start working his deals for him. Fire his mom. But I mean, the thing about these two matchups are, I know we had our question marks about the Ravens, but it was a good game in this game as well too. Quality game against two opponents that, again, I think there's definite question marks. I mean, Hurts in the first couple of drives had definitely a couple of turnovers. He's been very good since then, so he's definitely cleaning some stuff up. But I mean, these look like two of the better teams potentially in the NFC as well too, just like we thought going into the season. And the Packers were definitely a team for me that was going to be weird because I was definitely buying in, but you start doing the roster versus roster stuff, and it was just like a lot of, well, yeah, I mean, obviously we like all the guys, but I mean, you do it even like with this Eagles team, you go receiver for receiver. Like, yeah, we love Jaden Reed, but would you take Jaden Reed over AJ Brown? Would you Christian Watson, over
Yeah.
Devontae Smith? Would you start taking, Wicks over the Eagles? I forget who the Eagles third wide receiver is, but you start doing these roster, like even versus the Bears, like the Bears receiving core of DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Roma Dunze, and you start just doing like they have Jalen Johnson, the Packers have Jair Alexander. It starts becoming a weird team when you start doing that stuff. But again, you start watching them here against the Eagles, and they're up by two, and they're marching again. And really, the only thing that was holding them back well, not the only thing, but a major factor in that first half was the field and was them not
Hmm.
finding their footing and slipping on a bunch of plays. And I mean, they had a bunch of incompletions on that, but a bunch of other plays that just got stopped short because they weren't able to, uh, just continue running. But it does seem like they have cleaned that up a little bit in the second half. So maybe they even pull away a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, the Packers are definitely living up to the hype a little bit.
Yeah, for people who don't know, this game is in Brazil. So
Sao Paulo.
it's not a field that regularly hosts football games. So, that might have something to do with it. Maybe they're playing on turf or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, it's a soccer stadium.
yeah, I mean, it's
So it
soccer,
does host
so
football, just the wrong kind.
uh, different kind. But I do think you're totally right. I do. I mean, even when you look at the team that probably will win the division in the Lions, I mean, you look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, you look at who else is there? Jameson
Jameson
Williams.
Williams, Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. So
It's a better O
I don't.
line.
Yeah, I don't. But for some reason, the Packers just always overperform, especially with that coach, Matt LaFleur. I still have trust in him. I mean, last season, you got to kind of give him a mulligan. I mean, it's the first time Love was starting,
And they
being the
won a
main
playoff game last
starter,
year.
and yeah, and they won a playoff game. So, as long as LaFleur is the coach, I mean, I always feel they're gonna make more. They're gonna win more than they should.
I know you've always been a big LaFleur guy, and there was definitely a period there during the Rodgers years where some of the offensive stuff they were doing, I was not necessarily a big fan of. But who knows? Maybe that was Nathaniel Hackett after all. And I mean, we'll definitely get to see that hopefully played out a little bit more on this Jets team, assuming, Rodgers doesn't get the field monster going after him again in week one. But
Can't
I
run
gotta
from it.
say, a couple of these Eagles players are definitely standing out. On defense, N'Kobe Dean.
McDuffie? Oh yeah, yeah. No, Kobe Dean. Yeah, he just had a big stop.
I know he just blew up one of the
Mm.
Packers players' paws on a third down. Massive hit. But I mean, you watched him at Georgia, and he was one of those guys you knew just with his measurables going into the NFL that he was going to slide in the draft a little bit. But I mean, you watch him play, and you're like, this guy has all the potential to be a very, very productive, if not one of the best linebackers in the league. And he's flying out there around
Yeah,
tonight. And Saquon, I I don't want to say he's McCaffrey because I mean McCaffrey is
yeah,
clearly like an elite running back, but it's funny these other running backs where they're just in these poor systems all these years and they finally go to a good team. And I mean, Saquon is made a couple of big plays. He had the first Eagles touchdown on a great catch and a great throw by Jalen Hurts. And he hasn't necessarily broken off a huge run that I've seen tonight, but had a couple
yeah.
just like his consistency. Instead of getting 4 yards, he's getting 6 yards. He's just clearly a step up at running back for him. And it's, there was a definitely a little bit of, hey, maybe with some of the injuries, just is Saquon still going to be like the full potential Saquon that we think in this Eagles team? And he's also living up to the hype as well, too. He looks good.
Yeah, no, I mean that one touchdown where he just ran through the line and jumped. I mean, it was just, yeah, it was really great to see from him. And honestly, the Eagles are kind of playing for their lives. I mean, the Packers, yes, there is pressure obviously on Love because he got that huge contract, but there's a little bit of house money too vibes with them where, it's kind of second year. They have a lot of young
They're so
players, a
young.
lot of
Yeah.
hope. And but the Eagles, on the other hand, going to the Super Bowl, and then the last 2 years ago, and then last year, the way they fell apart. It's the build. Definitely the word in the building is that Nick Sirianni is definitely on the hot bench, and
Mhm.
yeah, no, it seems like he better people. People are, worried about where this team is headed, especially with losing Jason Kelsey and stuff like that. I don't know. I really, I wonder. I don't know. I mean, also losing Shane Steichen too. You wonder
Yeah.
how much of this team can hold, stand, how much this team can weather, considering how many people are losing, keep losing.
And it does seem like the coordinators they brought in this year, it does seem like that there's some fluidity on both sides of the ball that just wasn't there at the end of last season. They got Kellen Moore on offense, they got Vic Fangio on defense. So we'll see. Again, and this Packers team might just be straight up one of the better teams in the NFC. So maybe long term, if they lose to them, this necessarily isn't a bad game. And
Yeah.
I do think that there is some encouraging signs for the Eagles going forward. Who, like you're saying, Nick Sirianni. I mean, definitely wouldn't have been like totally shocked if he got fired at the end of the year, but he's also a candidate for could we have seen a coaching change in season as well too, if things have gone
Yeah.
really, really south as well. So yeah, you're right. That urgency is definitely there, but it does seem like there is a little bit of a relaxedness to them, if that's a word
Hmm.
that they're playing with. But yeah, that uh they just punted, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens on this
Yeah.
next drive here. What are we getting a studio update for?
I don't.
Chris Sims, I know it's Friday night football, but are we not doing suits on the broadcast anymore?
No, we don't need to. We need to look cool.
Speaking of the broadcast, Are we just doing dancers now on Friday night?
Well, like we say, when in Brazil,
Oh, that is
we're
true.
just trying to give some of the local flavors.
Twerking, is that a cultural thing in Sao Paulo?
Jeez, I don't know about all that, but it seemed like it was an artist from that area.
True. Can we get a Spotify on her?
Hmm.
Can we Shazam the halftime show? What was that
That's
song?
funny. Well, it's online if you want to look it up.
I know I'm gonna have to go back and do some research. Do you listen to any, like, are you a Bad Bunny fan at all? Do you listen to any international
Oh, a little
artists?
bit, a little
Yeah?
bit.
Like, what do you mean by that? Are you listening to Bad Bunny Drake collabs, or are you actually listening to Bad Bunny? Because I know he's on that last Drake album.
No, I mean, I don't really listen to Bad Bunny to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
me
I'll hear him
neither.
here and there, but I used to be really a big fan of some Dutch rapping. There's a Dutch rapper I
Whoa.
used to listen a lot to.
UK? Are you up on the UK rap scene at all?
Oh,
Central
yeah, I
C?
like Central C. Yeah, we
Dave?
go back for a bun. Dave is I've heard popping off lately.
Yeah, I know his
I haven't heard
uh
much, but
he's always dropping high quality stuff from what I hear. I haven't really gone through his catalog at all, but I was listening to the Central C Drake song. I was bumping that a little bit a while
yeah,
back, but I didn't listen to the new stuff. Haven't had like a moment where I'm like, I need to lock in on Central C and follow all of his new releases. But it'll happen as long as he keeps
yeah.
dropping and staying into the game. I was listening to Ken Carson the other day, who I
Oh,
haven't
he's good.
necessarily, yeah, I
He's
haven't
good.
necessarily like gone and listened to him that much yet. But
Ken
I was
Carson's
listening
good.
to what's his what's his album, Great Chaos.
Mm,
I was seeing some good reviews on
that was
that, so I
okay.
was checking out some songs. But yeah, he's a new guy
Yeah.
that's listening, popping off right now. Big the Plug got a lot of stuff.
Mm. Dave the Plug.
Big the Plug.
I haven't heard that one too much. I'm looking him up right now.
I think I said it right. It's Big X the with an A plug. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a obvious comparison. Well, I don't want to make the obvious comparison, but Big Big E.
Oh, wait, so you said XA plug?
It's Big X THA plug.
Big XTHA plug. Oh, big A. Oh, one word.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa. What's all this?
What's the name of his newest EP? I forget, but he dropped an album
The
and like a
largest or something?
yeah, the biggest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, the biggest was last year.
Is that the album? I'm looking him back up on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the
Yeah.
biggest. Oh yeah, the biggest was like the mixtape that he dropped earlier this year, and then the album that he dropped was uh Amar, dropped in
Maybe.
February of 2023. But I bought up a lot of Big the Plug stock as well when I heard the
Okay,
biggest for
I
the
see
first time.
it. I'm
Oh yeah, Meet the
definitely
Sixers, he dropped as well.
no, yeah, after he's like the guy, you hear the songs and you don't know who he is, but like, oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
He sounds familiar. He has like there's another artist he sounds a lot like. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, do you have a comp?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't remember the name. I have to
Are
think
you
about
just
it.
talking like that his like actual voice? He's got kind of that deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who you would be thinking of.
Who do you think of?
Well, I'm not I don't know if I would have a good comp either, but
Yeah.
I feel like you're more up on the newer guys too, so I wouldn't necessarily
Oh, it's just TikTok,
know who to comp him to for that.
It's just mostly TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's
And
still,
the
it's part
Ice
of the game to know you're up
Spice,
on.
yeah. Ice Spice, what was it? Her did it first. That instrumental's pretty good. I know there's a lot of people who are mad that she was the one who got it, like instead of someone else. But yeah, that was Central C too.
Central C was supposed to get it.
No, but like it was a really good instrumental, and people were mad that like people were like, "Oh, it was wasted on Ice Spice." I'm like, all right,
Who was supposed to get it? I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
I
don't know who
know
else would have.
what song you're talking about. I'm not a
Oh yeah, I
super
guess
up on
Band
Ice
for
Spice.
Band is also Central C.
Yeah, band for band.
Yeah,
I was trying to see if I could find who it was supposed to go to really quick, but I don't think I
let me see
can.
who
Did
else.
you listen to the newest Ice Spice album?
Yeah, it
Yeah, is
was
it good?
okay. It was okay. I don't think I. Let me see.
I didn't see super favorable reviews on it, but if somebody recommended it, I'd give it a shot for sure.
It's okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any song on there. I was like, oh, this is so good.
No playlist
It was
songs?
it was the usual, like, thank you that still on there. What was it,
Yeah, well,
Papa?
of course, hit single.
There was like one song. I mean, Gunna's featured on there on the album, but I think Papa was maybe one I thought was cool. Yeah, I think Papa. Man, I'm trying to keep up with Drake's ones. That's who's all over the place.
I know. Do you have any takes on 100 gigs?
I'm just annoyed he took down Blue, Green, Red. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think it was sample clearance, copyright stuff.
Still,
So, he wasn't like, it wasn't a J. Cole situation.
oh gosh,
He just unfortunately wasn't able to release the song, apparently. I
yeah.
think, yeah, now that I remember, I think I did. Yeah, I think he released it without getting clearance from the artist
Mm.
who they sampled from. But
Well, that's what YouTube is for.
yeah, just drop it on YouTube.
I know, or someone else is gonna have it on YouTube.
Yeah, true. Musically,
Basically.
get it on there. Saquon,
That's
I guess
probably my
14
favorite one of his new
rush
ones.
yards, 23 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, that was your best one of the new
I
ones he
thought it
dropped.
was the best one of his is 100 gigs thing, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And it's unfortunate that, well, I don't know if unfortunate is the right word, but do you think that those singles connected in the way with the way a Drake single would have in the past?
Mm, maybe,
I guess
maybe
they're
not. I
still they're
mean,
still, top of all the Spotify playlists, and the Drake numbers are still
yeah.
great. But do you think it's just the
Yeah, I
fact that there's
mean,
still like beef related songs too?
I think people they want to hate on Drake, which I get why, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how I don't know. I really wonder how he's gonna come back from this whole beef, especially with um the way he's talking about like coming back, doing the beef again with Kendrick and stuff. Like it's not gonna, I don't know, it's not gonna work, man. Like,
Wait,
I
did
don't know.
Love just throw a pick?
I think he might have.
I just looked away and
Did
they
he
just,
hang on to the ball?
oh, Blankenship got it.
But
Oh,
did he hang on?
that was kind of a good read. And it was
Oh
to
wow,
Musgrave.
yeah.
Musgrave's
I'm
also on my
telling you,
bench.
Musgrave isn't that good, man.
I can't believe I took Musgrave over Likely.
He definitely felt overrated.
I can't believe I didn't just take Likely in general. That's just a I mean, likely week one is just a lesson that I've learned now for fantasy going forward in drafts is if you think the guy is just a more talented football player, bet on the talent.
Yeah. Um,
And if
I
I was running a
just,
team, I just would have rather have had likely over Mark Andrews. So I get there was a fantasy thing
yeah.
with Andrews where, I mean, he had proven that he was an all-pro tight end in the past as well too. So he's definitely not a scrub, but there was a usage thing that we were projecting going into the season. But it was, I mean, obvious at the end of last year that likely was clearly a dude that they needed to get involved as well too. So it's like if he's
Yeah.
gonna be on the field, just bet on the guy that you think is more talented. And make no mistake, I've got the sixth waiver in our league, so I'm probably not going to get him. But I think I put the first request in because it was at halftime during the game or like third quarter. So hopefully that has some value as well too.
Fingers crossed. I mean, of course, put a waiver quest for him in my league likely, and we'll see. Is
But
that
you said you
Barkley?
had the
Oh my
last
gosh.
waiver, so you're screwed.
No, no, I made that a 12.
Oh, you're in a 12? Oh, okay. I thought you were in
Yeah,
10.
I'm in a 12 yet. No, no. So there's a couple. I don't know. Who knows?
And maybe,
Good.
we still got the rest of week one to go. So if a couple other guys pop off, maybe there's some injuries as well too. It's like, oh, I got to get the
Yeah,
handicap. There may be some other priorities before likely, but for me, and make no mistake, the rest of my team is stacked. I need a tight end, but
wow, look at
I'm definitely
Saquon
going to try to get
Barkley.
likely.
Jeez. Oh, did he drop it?
Okay, Barkley again, short yardage,
That's
getting in the end
crazy.
zone.
Think people kind of forgot how good Barkley is.
I know, and they showed the stats earlier, and again, it was like 14 touches, 70 yards. It wasn't like, put him in the Hall of Fame put the football for his Eagles debut in the Hall of Fame, but
Nah, his name's not
they're
Mike
also
White.
getting big plays from the receivers as well, too, and they're using him around the goal line, which was another thing that I was pretty convinced was going to happen is they were going to use him, try to get a focus off of Jalen Hurts running the football in
Yeah,
those type of situations just to kind of preserve him as well too. So Barkley 3 touchdowns to start. I mean, they're definitely making an
that's
effort to get him
crazy.
in the end zone.
Yeah, that's a great pick by Blankenship.
Yeah. Is that DeJean just wearing Blankenship's uniform? What's going on?
Maybe. Maybe. You want to go into your picks? Our picks
Yeah,
for
speaking of the
the
rest of week one.
week one. Um, Let's
Second
see
annual.
here. Who we got for week one?
Bum, ba, bum.
Oh, ba-da-bum. All right, first game of the week. Panthers at the Saints. I know this is the game we've been waiting all
Wait,
summer
are we
for.
drafting again this year?
Do you want to draft? I don't know.
Oh, you're out?
I mean, I didn't know if we're doing the new schedule,
We can't draft picks?
I guess we could. Yeah, if you want, draft them. Draft them up. Keep the tradition strong.
It'll be, well, I guess it's a tradition. Second annual.
Yeah.
It's enter tradition territory.
It's not football. It's tradition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
Man,
SEC
shout out to
football
is that
and then
six
the Rem and
games
Sam
at
picks
10?
draft.
Six six games in the first round of games on tomorrow on Sunday.
But yeah, anyways, I guess I'll explain. The picks draft, what we did last year was uh every pick was worth a certain amount of points. So our first pick was worth the most points, and then our last pick was obviously worth the least amount of points. And then we just tallied up whatever we got right and saw who won the week. So I guess we can fire through it. Are we in the fourth quarter yet for this game, or are we still in the third?
I don't know.
We
We're
might still be
still
in
in
the
the third.
third, end of the third. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 5 minutes left.
Do you have a coin that we can flip?
Didn't I win last year?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you did. I think you wiped me
So
last
you
year.
got it.
Pause.
You can take the pick.
I get the first pick.
Yeah.
The first pick. Well, you know who I want, Sam, if the aliens are attacking the Earth.
Oh, Iggy?
If the death beam is pointed at us, I want Anthony Richardson.
Oh my
Give me
gosh.
the Colts over the Texans at home.
You don't think this is a homer pick at all?
But I gotta be honest, like looking at the week one slate, most of the games I could see going either way. There's not a lot of overwhelming
Yeah.
overwhelming picks I have one way or the other. I think there's only like two or three games where the team is favored by, plus 200 or more. So it's fairly even across the board. And again, I think the Colts at home to start the season, Anthony Richardson fully
Wow.
healthy, the
Really?
healthiest maybe we'll see him. Jonathan Taylor healthy, the receivers, a fresh crop of receivers. Josh Downs year two, bringing in Adonai Mitchell off the draft, and Pittman, of course, was cooking at the end of last year as well. Offensive line looked good, so I think the Colts might be, on upset watch for the Texans here in week
You
one.
really think they could win? That's crazy.
Yeah, of course. If Anthony Richardson's cooking,
Oh gosh.
do you think he
I mean,
makes it through the whole
of
game?
course full hardly disagree. Yeah, you see that's a serious question. It's crazy, you know. So I very much disagree, but it's your pick. With the first pick of the new year, I always like my first rounders. I like being a strong pick, one that I fully believe. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins over the Jaguars at home.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins, the Jaguars, I don't know. I think people are kind of out on Trevor Lawrence. Will need a bit more time, but yeah, I mean the Dolphins just have better skill position players. Tyreek, Tua's still really good. Our A Chain is going to be the number one guy now this year, so
Yeah.
you have him out there, and yeah, I mean this team's got something to prove. I mean they have one ice bowl game which was really cold. I mean, I think people had to have amputations or maybe some of that. I don't know. And
Oh, you're talking about the fans? Yeah, I think you might be
yeah,
right. I was thinking of players for a second, but
no, the fans. So it was really cold, but yeah, they got something to prove this year, and we'll see. But I gotta go with the Dolphins at home against regressing Jaguars team.
that's crazy. Remember back in the day, the players were the ones that would just like Ronnie Lott would get his fingers amputated and do whatever it
Jeez,
takes to be on the field. And nowadays the players are load managing and the fans are the ones out there having to get fingers amputated at these games.
that's crazy.
Times
That's
have changed.
2024 even.
What is happening? You're making $40 million a year. I mean, the tip of your pinky. Speaking of which, Devontae Smith just went down, got a hand wrist situation. Let's see if
Wait, it
we. Oh no,
wasn't.
that's not
No,
Devon.
it was
That's
something else. Yeah, I was
Chauncey
like,
Gardner Johnson. Sorry, I thought that was a number six. It's a zero. It's a zero on a crumpled up jersey, or is it
actually
an
an eight.
eight?
It's an eight.
It's an eight on a crumpled up jersey.
That's an eight. A zero in a crumbled up jersey.
Oh, maybe it's a shoulder type it. No, it's his hand
I don't know. Yeah.
for sure. But you're right. It's going to be the warm weather as well too early in the season, and I mean it's the regular season for the Dolphins as well. And I do have some questions going into the season about the Jags secondary. They have some good players
Yeah.
back there, but they lost Darius Williams in the offseason. He's on the Rams now. So you're right with this Dolphins set of skill position guys. Waddle fully healthy as well. I feel like Waddle and Achane fully healthy. I mean, maybe the Dolphins offense has a
Wow.
level up.
Maybe. Maybe. I
I
mean, I
mean,
think this is
Tua obviously is a big
in,
question.
yeah, I think it is in Miami. So, what even?
Is it a home game for the Dolphins? I think you're right.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be real hot for football, which, I mean, obviously Jacksonville isn't too worried about, but still, that's
That's always interesting, making teams literally sweat it out.
Josh Jacobs with
Um,
another big run. You see the Packers in the second half, like we said earlier, they haven't been slipping around as much, and the big plays have definitely been there.
so it looks like Roger Goodell is looking to double the number of international games. They are allowed to do 8 games, according to the owners, allowed them to do 8 games internationally. But how do you feel about 16? I know this is a quick pivot change, but just saw the headline and that's kind of
16
crazy.
international games. So that's one a
Yeah,
week.
pretty much.
So every week somebody's flying around internationally.
Yeah,
Sounds like
that's a
we're
lot to
risking a
put on your
lot for a
teams.
team.
Yeah.
So sounds like the more we put these teams on flights overseas, the greater chance we better expand just in case. But I mean,
I'm
at some point you got to continue to grow the product. So I guess,
yeah,
you can't blame them for doing it. But the travel is a definitely a factor in these games. I mean, it's a factor when a team has to go from West Coast to East Coast. So you
No,
start
for
doing
sure.
international travel for every team. Are they going to have an
Yeah.
international Super Bowl? Is that the next step?
Oh gosh.
The Super Bowl's already a
That'd be
neutral
crazy.
site.
Mexico City.
Oh, wow. You want to put the Super Bowl in Mexico City?
Somewhere like kind of close. Definitely
True.
not
Same
over the
continent.
Atlantic Ocean. Yeah.
Toronto,
Yeah, because you got to think about prime time and ad spots and stuff. There's no way they could put him over the ocean.
Alaska.
I don't know about that one.
That's true.
Anyway,
They'd have to
it's
play
your
like a
draft
2 a.m.
pick.
Super
I
Bowl
know we did a little
overseas.
sidebar. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that's happening. Too much money.
So maybe Sao Paulo gets the Super Bowl.
Mm. Yeah, if they can give us an actual field.
Yeah, if they fix the
All right,
turf.
who's your second overall pick?
With the
Second
second
pick.
pick, let me see. Maybe I'll do a quick pivot because week
Oh,
one, like I said,
yeah.
some of these matchups could go all over the place, but maybe I'll go somewhere I do have a little more confidence. And I do have confidence in this team to get the win. It's more like, are they going to come out and dominate in week one? And that is going to be Sunday Night Football, Lions over the Rams. And
Oh my gosh. I was about to do this pick too.
like I said, I am confident that the Lions are going to win, but the Rams, I mean, make no mistake, this is another
Yeah.
wait and see team. I think that defensive line with the draft picks they added is going to be able, and the picks they had last year as well too, is going to be good as well too. They added people on the other position groups on defense as well, so they just bulked up that entire unit, and you get Stafford, Nakua, Cup, just everybody gets back and healthy on offense. The Rams are going to be a very, very feisty team this year and very potentially
Yeah, no,
competitive
they are.
in the NFC West. So, I mean, like I say, don't count them out for this game, but I think the Lions might be the best team in the NFL, at least in the regular season. Like week to week, they might be the
Mm.
most consistent team this year, just with the amount of talent they have and the fact that both lines are as solid as they are.
Yeah.
The coordinators running that back last year. So I'm buying stock for this Lions team as in the mix for best in the NFL. And I think they're going to come out and show it in week one against the Rams. And I
Mm.
think the Rams are going to play well too. I think this could be a very good game, but I think it's going to be like, oh yeah, the Lions are back on top.
I fully agree. I fully agree, especially them at home. And they started off the year hot last year. So I don't see any reason they don't do it again this year. I fully agree.
Do you
I
think that
think
they would
it's
have won the Super Bowl last year if they would have played you guys?
no, no, because Jared Goff already had a chance and he didn't show up that game.
But do
Um,
you think because of that he might have been a little more under control than Purdy was in that game? Because it did seem like Purdy
hmm,
was flustered definitely in the first part of
yeah.
that game. And kind of what the Lions did last year was similar to the Niners for sure, but kind of attacked them in better. They were a little better suited to play the Chiefs, I think, than the Niners were. I think the depth at running back, the way they could have just continued to attack in the run game, And we forget how good the defense was playing for the Lions at the end of last year as well too. I know Hutchinson was definitely
Yeah.
playing his tail off, but they were playing well, and that defensive unit should be better with the upgrades that they made at secondary positions. So it's always going to be like Mahomes. You can never pick against Mahomes to lose a Super Bowl, especially right now. But I am 50-50 on whether or not the Lions would have won the Super Bowl last year if they actually would have got in. And like I said, I think the secondary is going to be better. So I think they're going to be a monster regular season team. And if they show it in this week one, I'd be back for having high hopes for them in the playoffs as well too.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they had probably a really improbable run, but it's just having those playoff scars that we always talk about. Um, and having that experience, which Goff did, and some of them did, but not nearly as much as the 49ers, in terms of that organizational experience. And it was given a little bit of like Sacramento Kings first run in the playoffs. I mean, obviously they did a lot better than them, but
Ooh.
just that they're like, we haven't made it. The achievement was them making it this far after how long of not making it. And so yeah, they were in play. And if Josh Reynolds catches each of those thrown to him, or even two of them, they're probably in there. They're probably all the way to the Super Bowl. But yeah, I don't think they were gonna win that game just because of that. Just because of that playoff experience, those playoff wins, just having no resume like the Lions did. I don't think they're gonna make it, but. Well, we'll see. I definitely really like this team this year. And yeah, there's no reason they couldn't be in the Super Bowl this next year because it's looking. I mean, if McCaffrey's hurt and the Eagles still aren't great, like there's not a million options other than them in the NFC.
There's definitely some openings for some other teams to slide in there at the top if we get some, breakout performances. But the offensive lines as well too, like they would just be able to probably hold up a little bit better against like some of the interior pressure stuff that Chris Jones would be able to throw at them. So, I mean, it would definitely be a really tough game. But you're saying that there would be like a 30 for 30 on this Lions team from last season is like, remember that one Lions season that was super fun that broke the curse of like all the bad Lions seasons and brought Detroit
Oh
back in like
yeah,
good vibes?
yeah.
You're saying we just had a good vibe season last year?
No, I saw the receiver show. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no, I was talking about something else. But you're not.
Oh, because yeah, they gave him a like breaking the curse. Like there are clips in there where they're talking about breaking the curse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they like gave the ball to to Goff and stuff, and they're like, oh, they had all little clips. I don't know.
So they're already doing it a little bit,
Yeah, I mean
working it in.
they were doing it last year. When they made the playoffs.
True, true. But I think a lot of people were like, maybe this is the start of something. But
You
you're
know.
saying it was remember the season. But you're on the clock for your next pick, the number two. Now
Yeah.
that I've stolen your Lions pick over the Rams.
I guess so. I guess you have. Shoot. Let me see if I can pull up trying to pull up the game. I'm right now also trying to multitask live watching here because we also got World Frisbee going on. Worlds every 4 years.
Whoa.
They all come together, yeah. And the men's just finished. I guess we're doing a little quick corner here. The men's just finished, and it was USA against Japan. They had a similar finals in 2016. They didn't have one in 2020, obviously, because of COVID. But it looks like the men won. And then mixed is playing right now. They should dominate US again against Canada in this case. Oh, not Jalen Hurts throwing a pick.
I know
Okay,
Jalen Hurts almost just threw a pick six to, was that Nix in the corner?
maybe.
Little outright on the sideline there. Tough look for
Just
our
to
guy
finish my
Hurts.
little bit,
Yeah.
the big one is actually starting at midnight. The women's one, USA against Colombia. Colombia beat them in a preseason kind of run up, and then they beat them again in pool play. So Colombia is kind of the only team that could actually win Worlds this year. So who knows? Who knows? But
Wait,
shout
is
out
this
Jalen
on
Hurts.
UFA TV?
No, it's on Ultiworld, but
Oh,
I think I could slide the login. Maybe I don't know.
yeah.
It
Wait,
is
is that
around.
midnight your time or midnight?
I think it said midnight Eastern. So
Oh, so I could throw that on
yeah,
right after this.
yeah.
So
Let me
that's
see
not too
what
bad.
the
That's what,
men
like
scored.
9, 10 for you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tune in. I'll definitely tune in. I meant
Wait, so
to
are you
get the
watching it right
men's
now? Is
one.
it on in the back?
I'm pulling it up. Yeah,
Ooh.
double screen. Let me see
Also,
what the
Jalen
score of
Hurts
the men's
did,
one
just
was.
to update, he did end up throwing a pick, this time into the middle of the field to
Wow.
Jair Alexander in the end zone. It's a
Yeah.
touchback, and they would have had a chance to go up by 11, maybe 12. They go for two or whatever. So
Wow.
now the Packers are going to be driving again down the field here with a chance
Yeah.
to take the lead. But you said the men are up
Wow.
first
Yeah.
for Frisbee?
Yeah, well, the men, it looks like so I would recommend watching the 2016 matchup, USA men's against Japan. Japan went up like one or two scores, and then they went up a little bit, but this team this year is just a bunch of youth, a lot of new guys, a lot of good guys, and they destroyed them 15-4. So, it's sometimes
Hmm.
it's not your day, and yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if the mixed one, which is going on right now, that's men and women playing, dominates Canada as well. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if
Yeah, Canada doesn't stand a
yeah, right
chance.
now. Actually, yeah, US is winning 12-7. So yeah, let's just say the other first two games are usual USA domination. So hopefully the women's one gives us something a lot better to watch. But
But the
if you're not
domination
watching
isn't,
this Eagles game,
you don't
just
want to
pretty
watch the
much
nomination?
no, I'll go back and watch it. I will. But if you're picking between Eagles games or World Frisbee, I think the choice is pretty clear.
Well, yeah, you got to support the USA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could take a night off and watch Worlds.
Yeah, I mean,
Or you can watch Eagles. The
Worlds is
Eagles games.
one night a
Yeah.
week, but
One night every 4 years. Oh wow, what a run. Was that Jacobs? Yeah, I know the Chiefs were trying to go after him.
I know he was saying that he turned down the Chiefs. He wanted to go
Yeah,
play for the Packers. There was another guy that said they
that's what
turned
they
down the
all
Chiefs as
say.
well too. Mike Evans?
Hmm.
Mike Evans said the Chiefs reached out to him and he was like, "No, I'm good." Which Mike Evans, what are you doing, bro? Go to the Chiefs.
I'm gonna take for my
Win the
second
Super
pick
Bowl.
a less trendy pick. I'll take the Seahawks against the Broncos. Um, I think at
Ooh.
home, Seattle always is a good crowd, and I don't know, it's not too far from where Bo Nix played college, but I'm not too sure that he can handle that much of um, that kind of crowd that early in his career.
That's true. It's a brutal start to have to go into Seattle to play your first game, but I don't know. Geno Smith on the other side is not maybe necessarily the most terrifying opponent, and
Yeah,
Sean Payton's going to have him coached up. So I think you're
we'll
right.
see. They need to bring in Sam Howell already.
Yeah, maybe is this a likely Mark Andrews situation? Just bet on the talent, play Sam
Yeah,
Howell,
yeah.
trust your gut. I was leaning going the other way with this pick and picking the Broncos just because
Mm,
I'm starting to really kind of buy in on the Bo Nix hype. But you're right. That is a tough start to play
yeah,
your first game in Seattle. So he could definitely have a good game and still lose. And
yeah. No, for sure.
you're right, McDonald, he might be kind of a good coach. Maybe he's the Steichen for the Ravens, where he had Steichen kind of holding the Eagles together with Sirianni there, and then he leaves. Eagles take a dip down the next year. Maybe that's like the Mike McDonald thing.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I think, there has to be some credit given to Pete Carroll, like you mentioned. I mean, I don't think it's going to be, the Seahawks aren't going to be tanking, but I think, Canada just got another turnover, 12-8. They have a break chance here to make it 12-9.
Ooh.
I don't know. Do you want to watch it? I can put the login in the chat. Um, I mean, I think some credit has to be given to Pete Carroll for just how good of a coach he is. I don't think you can just be like, yeah, Mike McDonald's gonna, it's done. He'll be great. I mean, I think Mike McDonald will be a great coach or will be a solid good coach, but I don't, it still takes time to grow and it's the first week, but it's just for me, it's more betting on Bo Nix, not
Yeah.
being a starter, star level. And just, I
Oh.
mean,
So you're not buying the hype.
no, I'm not. Also, like the Broncos wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy, I think they got rid of Tim Patrick. Like they're not sure what they're doing there. I mean, shout out to Patrick Surtain for getting the bag he deserves. I mean, he's that guy. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the defense definitely got better for the Seahawks. I mean, Witherspoon is back. I think they had some other pieces there. And Kenneth Walker, another year of him in the backfield to help with Geno Smith. I mean, this is definitely not a bet against Geno Smith. It's, just a bet against a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. Oh yeah, Byron Murphy, huge getting him in the draft.
He's going to be a tough one to watch this year because he was one spot behind Latu in the draft. The Colts drafted Latu at 15, and then Byron
Yeah.
Murphy went at 16. And make no mistake,
Mm.
I was all in on Latu. I love Latu. I'm still all in, but uh, Byron Murphy was another guy in the mix for like top defensive lineman in the draft, and he might be the best one.
Mm. All right, all right. We'll see. I don't know. It's always funny when your homerism comes out. IG like your picks and stuff. Anyway, your turn.
That's the Colts. I think they're going to be within. It's going to be a close game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Divisional game at home. They're not going to get swept by the Texans this year.
Yeah, well, I I don't know if I'd say all that. Oh, we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah,
What do you think? The
you're real
Texans are going to
confident
go
on it.
15-2?
He said, I really no, but I do think that I don't know if I trust Anthony Richardson, man.
He can at least pull Lamar and, have like 20 carries.
You know.
Maybe he'll play 6 games to
Oh,
start the year, but
I thought he caught it.
or went around.
Wow. I guess we're just watching a bunch of field goals happen.
Oh, do they not get the third down? I think it might be a play ahead of me.
Oh, whoops.
No, you can.
Jaden Reed, he tried. Oh, that's not Reed. That's Dobbs.
For the next pick, let me see. Okay, I did go Lions next, so let me go with maybe a little bit of a spicy pick, but maybe not. A younger quarterback, number 1 overall pick.
Oh,
Give me the Bears over the Titans. Caleb Williams,
okay.
1-0 to start his career.
That's a good pick.
This is one of the games I do actually feel the most confident about because I think
Yeah.
the talent disparity just between the rest of the Bears roster versus the Titans roster is superior. And I mean, like you're saying, Bo Nix going to
Weird.
Seattle, not favorable. Caleb Williams versus Will Levis to start your career, very favorable.
Yeah.
Take that all day. Pause. So I just think, maybe Caleb Williams might be better right now. I might be. He probably is just
He is. Yeah,
better
he's
game
definitely better
one
right
than
now.
Will Levis
Will
is game
Levis.
17. So
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
I'd say lock it in.
That was not even a hot take.
Okay, good. I didn't know,
Yeah. But
you always
I
want to pay
would,
respect to the guys that have
you
played the games in
know,
the league. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's the Will Levis what we're doing. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And especially
command
when
his
you
coffee.
look at that offensive, the offense of the Bears and the weapons they have. I mean, just that unit alone is probably like, I mean, easily the best out of this game. Any unit in this game is not even close. And yeah, no, I'm really excited to see Caleb Williams. People are gonna get real excited about him. Call him CJ Stroud next. And
I
yeah,
know,
we'll
especially
see.
after Stroud gets upset in week 1, people are going to be down on him.
I mean, would you take Caleb Williams or Anthony Richardson?
I'm still in. Give me Anthony Richardson, baby.
Wow, that's crazy.
Don't
That's
ask me
crazy.
don't ask me Sunday night, but it's Friday night before week 1. At this point,
Yeah, I
before the
don't
season
know.
has started, I'm still in on Anthony Richardson. I mean, isn't
Yeah,
Anthony Richardson a
okay.
bigger, faster Caleb Williams? Essentially.
All right. My next pick. I'm not even gonna entertain that. My next pick. I'm gonna go with um. Well, let's see here. I'm gonna go with a little bit, maybe a tiny bit of an upset. Keep it fun, keep it frisky. I'm gonna take the Falcons at home over the Steelers. I think, am I speaking this into existence a little bit with having Bijan Robinson? Yes. But I do recognize Steelers defense is the best unit in this game. It's really good. But I mean, Russell Wilson, it's bad. I think the Steelers are gonna come in thinking, we're good, we're supposed to win this. And I think the Falcons, especially with shoring up their safeties, that team has definitely improved from last year. Having Kirk Cousins it just makes them better. Like that's inarguable. Just going from Desmond Ritter to Kirk Cousins it's not even close.
Yeah.
So I think this Falcons team at home, I really like Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if it gets loud, but I love the stadium. They have a lot of this is a sustainable pick. No, I'm kidding. But no, I really do like the Falcons here. Kyle Pitts resurgence here. People are saying, you know,
Ooh.
I know, but yeah, you have both Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons back there. Matt Judon added over the offseason as well, and then yeah, Kyle Pitts coming back. Daryl Mooney, Drake London, Ray Ray.
Darnell Mooney.
That's not a bad three. So who knows?
Yeah, unfortunately they lost Olamide Zaccheaus, but and the
Yeah,
Steelers offense might actually suck this year. It might actually be pretty bad. So
yeah,
this could be like a 17-3 type win for the Falcons. The Steelers offense just a complete disaster. Can't get anything going. And you're right, the Falcons have enough on defense that the secondary, they got smart players in the secondary. They've upgraded the pass
yeah,
rush. And if the Steelers offensive line is a disaster, I mean the Falcons pass rush might look amazing. And Russell
yeah. And I
Wilson
mean,
running around is not going to do him any favors.
and it might be bad, honestly, but I mean, you look at this team, and there's not really any like super huge holes, or like you have a rookie in a place or something. Like it kind of feels like a mostly veteran team, which I don't know if you really want for a team this bad, but this still means there's still a level of really good play, and you got veterans and all that. So I
Yeah, no, I'm very confident in the Falcons to get this win.
And the Falcons' offensive line is good too. I know Highsmith and Watt, like you're saying, are going to be a problem, but I mean, Cousins is going to have more time in Atlanta than he had in Minnesota, at least. I mean, he was one of the more sacked QBs in the league, and part of that is because of Cousins' lack of mobility, but
Yeah,
also that Vikings offensive line struggled to protect him at times, and the Falcons is definitely going to be an upgraded situation for him. So hopefully
yeah, it's not even.
that offense is going to
Yeah,
be a little bit better under against the Steelers defense. So I definitely had that pick going the same way. I like it as well. Do I want to go upset pick for my no, let me actually I feel like this one for me is basically a lock, but
mm,
I think the line was only like 3.5. I was looking at some of the alternate spreads seen about looking at this one at like 6 or 7 points, but I'm gonna take the Chargers over the Raiders.
wow.
And like I'm saying,
Okay.
lock it in, baby. I think the Raiders, you want to talk about sucking? I think the Raiders might be the worst team in the league this year. O'Connell and
Mm,
Minshew?
okay. Wow, the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders, it's not gonna be good. I mean, you got Max Crosby, you know, there's and that's about it on defense. It's gonna be bad. I honestly, I'm sorry, Pablo Price, but I'm gonna call it. I honestly think Devontae Adams will
Rob
get
Price, start it
traded
off.
before week 10.
I don't disagree. I think I would not be shocked if he got traded this year. I
Like
wish I could
it's
bet on it.
yeah, I would be in that bet with you because I really don't think he's gonna stick around. I It's gonna be another bad year, and yeah,
Back to the Packers?
I don't know. People want him talking about him on the Jets. Who
Yeah, they want
knows?
him and
I mean,
Rodgers
we
trade
got
back up.
Saquon Barkley on the Eagles. We got Derrick Henry on the Ravens. We got Stephon Diggs on the Texans. You know, all these veterans are going to these really good teams. So I don't I wouldn't put it past Adams if he goes to another good team. I don't, shoot, maybe the Chiefs. We could use him.
I don't know what his contract situation looks like, but if you're the Texans, would you trade like Nico Collins for him? Just do like a
Wow, that's
1v1?
crazy. So the one wide receiver you drafted is the first one you would trade to
No,
bring in
I'm
Adams,
trying
not
I'm
take
trying to get
Dell.
you
Like,
I'm trying to get you to say that you wouldn't trade Nico Collins for Devontae Adams.
no, I would in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. What? Are you asking questions?
Is this like a healthy long heartbeat?
Yeah.
Like a
This is
Lance Armstrong heartbeat?
oh shoot, he's on Team
But there's
USA.
like
Shout out
5 minutes in
the
between each heartbeat?
no, he definitely in it. Just realized Iowa alums on the mixed teams, mixed USA
Oh,
team. Shout out, 1 point away from winning worlds. Shout out to Clark, the player on Minnesota, the world champs. When they win the professional
the
league,
wind
world
chill.
champ.
Yeah, world
Yeah,
champs.
Winchell. Yeah, they won their league. So shout out
Wait,
to
but the thing
Clark,
about
UFA
Frisbee is
champ.
like you're saying, they actually have worlds. They're having worlds right now, right?
Yeah,
So,
they're
but I
having
guess
worlds
for
right
the,
now. Yeah.
is that for the
Marquez
clubs?
Brownlee. Yeah, no, this is countries, so it's USA right now. There
So
is
did they have
club
like,
worlds, which is from each country, but oh,
yep.
did Marquez Brownlee just win the gold winning score? Wow, he got bookends to shut out to beat Canada
Whoa.
15-8. He took a break from his, was it 10 million, 20 million almost YouTube channel to fly over to
Gee.
Australia and shut out. He's just so tall, big, long. I mean, he's been playing since he was in high school. Great player. And he just snatched that disc out of the air when Canada was trying to toss it up and gets the catch and score to win. His first time ever representing United States. Tried out as an under 17 and then under 19 and then under 24 teams wasn't allowed. I think he tried it also one more time for no meant the normal and he didn't make it. So first time on the team and he gets the stop and score to get USA gold, our second gold of the day in Australia. And but the hardest test is yet to come against the women's team.
So if we get to 20
15-8.
million subscribers, we could get you on the mixed team for Worlds.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, Frisbee's one of those. They're not gonna put you on just because you're big. Like you got to be good, and he's really good. He's been on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he's on New York team, so
Yeah, that's true.
he was on that roster that was like undefeated and won three straight, either two or three straight
But you
UFA
played frisbee too. It's not
championships.
like you just. It's not like we're just
Yeah,
pulling you off the
he's
couch.
like 6'3", his arm length. He's good. He might have a 7 foot wingspan. Like I'm not even joking. His long arms, he
Mm.
looks like a tarantula. Like his arms are ridiculously long. And he
Jalen
also
Horton
has
Tucker.
won he's also won World Club Championship with Pony in 2022, I want to say. So he's won worlds as a club and now as for the country, and he's won nationals and he's won the professional. So only one missing is college, but can't have it all. Can't have it all. You can't have all that and a 20 million subscriber account just getting paid to review phones. I mean, shout out to him. He's living the life right now.
He's
Good for
making more
him.
money than the whole tournament.
Probably, probably. But shout out to USA. Not really a great game from Dom in terms of turnovers. Had 7 turnovers, but they made up for each of those turnovers with a break. So, I mean, you do that, you're gonna win most of the time. So,
Sort of like Jalen
15-8.
Hurts tonight. He keeps throwing picks or almost throwing picks, but then right back down the field the next drive, throws a touchdown,
Yeah,
runs for a third
we'll see.
down conversion.
I don't know, but if you have an Ulti World subscriber, I very much think you should log in right now. We're not live, so, but if you do pay attention, I hope you tuned in for the women's game because the other two games are decent, but like 15-4 for the men's, 15-8 for mixed, like that's cruising scores. You're cruising, like
We're not live tonight, but Sam's window is open. So if you hear this, log in.
log in. Oh, can you see it?
Is it? No, I just
Oh,
saying it was.
I was like, geez, he's gonna have everyone logging into the thing. 4 minutes left. Do you think the Packers? Who do you think is gonna win this game right now? 4 minutes. They have the ball. Barkley.
Well, like I said,
Packers are
every
down by
time Jalen
3.
Hurts throws it a great pass or runs for almost a first down, I'm like, I'm back in, baby. Jalen Hurts is going to take this team to the Super Bowl. But I mean, he almost did it again. He threw it right into Jair Alexander's gut, and Alexander just dropped it. AJ Brown had to play defensive back and break up the pass. And it's just like the inconsistency. It's crazy. But I mean, maybe it's
Yeah,
just Mahomes is just the standard's too high. I mean, Lamar, same thing. But
it's
Barkley,
crazy.
they've got 4 minutes and the lead, and what, they're up by 2 points. So a
Yeah,
field goal means the Packers will need to get at least a touchdown, which is, a nice little thing for the Eagles. But if they score a touchdown here, I mean, they could go up by 2 scores and put the game away. So
yeah.
I mean, if I have to make a pick right now, I'm picking the Eagles, baby.
So you picking the Eagles? All right, we'll see.
Driving with 3 minutes left.
I don't know. The Packers could pull it off. Who knows?
Definitely.
Who knows?
But
I
Hurts
don't.
just muscled his way for another first down, which, I mean, unlike Lamar, he's not running around earlier in the game. So, maybe long term over the season, this is a more sustainable method of Jalen Hurts creating plays with his leg at the end of games because, like we're saying, he's
Mm,
saving himself for the fourth quarter to try to run around and, actually take on hits like this and
yeah.
muscle in for the first down. And, Jalen Hurts is obviously more built than Lamar, too. It's a little more in his style. Do you think, and Jalen Hurts definitely is fast, but you think there's something about the quarterbacks that are like running fast when they're colliding with these guys like Cam Newton and Anthony Richardson versus it seems like Jalen Hurts is always a little bit more under control when he's running around.
Mm.
And
I
maybe,
do
I don't know.
think Lamar when he looks like he does look a little reckless. I would say that. Jalen Hurts, maybe. I mean, I mean, he definitely feels like a bulkier kind of guy, not like
Yeah, I mean,
Gangly, like Lamar. So, yeah.
the Packers defense, are they wearing out? The
Oh,
Eagles are definitely moving down the field right now.
yeah.
Are you back on the clock?
I think so. I think I am back on the clock, trying to queue up this USA Japan game. We'll check it out before the women's game.
Oh, yeah, switch
Um,
screens.
maybe. Who do we have left? I'm gonna take should I go with a ballsy pick? We're gonna go 49ers over the Jets
Mm,
and at home. McCaffrey is still healthy as of right now, so I have a feeling it'll be a game. Obviously we don't want to wish injury on anyone, but I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if it's a game where he plays, he scores like 3 touchdowns in the first half, and then he's out the rest of the game. Because it's yeah,
Oh, so you think the Niners are gonna walk on this Jets team?
walk. Wait,
Like you
wait.
say, McCaffrey's gonna have a performance on this Jets team?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a decent game. Yeah, I think he's gonna have a decent game, but I think it's gonna be really good. Yeah, maybe 2 touchdowns. A couple, probably like 80 yards or something. But yeah, I definitely think that I don't know if it's gonna be sustainable.
For the Niners side?
No, for the Niners side, yeah. But they've been known to have injury history. They're just never healthy.
Yeah.
Feels like so.
So
Yeah.
you're buying team in this stock early in the season and you're seeing a decline versus maybe like a rusty start in the initial
Yeah.
part of the season because of some of the offseason troubles and then gaining steam as the season goes.
Yeah, I definitely can see them having injury issues like they always do. Debo Samuel, it's looking kind of rough. And then, McCaffrey already banged up and yeah, I definitely and then Trent Williams still hasn't shown up to practice. I mean, that's gotta matter for something.
Yeah.
So
And, just the amount of years that he's played too. He's been around for a while.
yeah,
The whole team is guys. It's not a young team necessarily.
exactly. Exactly. And how many years can they keep this up? Like, and I know we say the same exact thing about the Chiefs, but they don't have Brock. I mean, they don't have Brock Purdy. They have Mahomes. So we'll see. We'll see. Kyle Shanahan, I don't know.
Who's cornerback two for the
Maybe.
Packers right now? Stokes. He's getting worked on this drive by Devontae Smith.
Oh, did they bench Love?
No, the Eagles are
Wait.
still driving the ball.
Oh, then why are they? Oh, he said cornerback. I thought he said quarterback.
Corner, yeah, cornerback.
I was like, what? Some guy, dude, like. He said, "You're done." It's like college. He said, I've seen enough. I'm done with
Three
this."
quarters into his contract as the highest paid player in the league, and they're like, "We're good.
All right, we've seen enough.
We're just saving him because he's such a valuable asset to the team." But
He's like, he is the team. Man.
2 minute
All right, who
warning.
you?
Eagles inside the 10. I'm feeling pretty good about my prediction. Let's see if
Okay,
this prediction is as good as the last one. For my next pick, we will go with. Okay, this is kind of an upset I've been eyeing, so I feel like this is a good spot to take it. I'm going to take the Cardinals over the Bills.
whoa, okay, I like it. I like it.
And I think Cardinals still on the road, but, early season Buffalo, it's not like they're going to have to deal with that weather necessarily.
Yeah.
And, the more I look at this Cardinals roster, like the offense especially, and as I was doing mock drafts, preparing for our fantasy league, you got Marvin Harrison's going in the top 15. Trey McBride, I mean, you took him in what, round 5? I think you took him in the top 50. So he's a top 50 player in
Yeah.
drafts. James
No,
Conner's
he's
like
that
a
good.
top 60 player in draft. Michael
Knows
Wilson,
how to find the end zone.
maybe not a high draft guy, but definitely a
He's
really good
draftable.
really good high upside player. I mean, why would this Cardinals offense not be electric this year? Especially if Kyler
Yeah.
Murray's healthy. Like, we're buying in the talent for the numbers for all of these players. So that's going to mean points and going to mean production on some level. And I think this Bills team could definitely be good at some point in the season, but it's a young team. There's a lot of turnover, and week one could definitely be a rough start for them. And yeah, Cardinals young team too, but young team in
No,
a little bit of a
no,
different kind of way.
yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head here. I mean, no Diggs is gonna really hurt the Bills. It is. You just can't replace that. I really think, and then I mean, Singletary wasn't great in fantasy, but
But they
I
got
mean,
James Cook there for their running back. So,
yeah,
but
but I mean,
Keon
yeah,
Coleman, I do like long term for this team. I just, especially week one, like he's not Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not gonna walk right in and start dominating the league. At least, in my opinion, but
yeah.
he might develop into a great wide receiver one. But again, for this week, I mean, I think the Cardinals offense, that skill position group, like you're saying, it might be better than the Bills.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's not. It's just I really think losing Diggs, it's got to matter. And I know I'm literally making the same point, but I mean, moving from Stephon Diggs to Shakira, like that's a pretty big drop off in my opinion. And there's just so many plays in the last year, in my opinion, that I saw that were that had
Diggs being that one guy they could go to. And
yeah, I don't know how they're gonna just replace that with their second, someone who'd probably be a third wide receiver on a Super Bowl team.
And you're right, replacing the confidence that Allen has in Diggs as well too. It's just going to take time. It's not something that he's going to have developed with another receiver in week one. So, like I am saying, I love Keon Coleman, but he's gonna, there's gonna be some weeks where he's gonna have to find his footing in the NFL. He's gonna be playing on the Sao Paulo field in terms of finding his
Yeah.
footing for his careers. So yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
this Cardinals team in week one, even on the road going into Buffalo.
Yeah. No, I think Josh Allen, he's gonna get a lot of hate this year, so much that he's gonna become underrated. Like it's gonna be bad. Also, quick side note, I'm watching this men's team against Japan. This is some of the best frisbee I've ever seen in my life. Holy cow. I just had to say that out loud. Holy mackerel. I mean, first of all, I mean,
Hot
shout out
start.
to the people who picked the USA team because they didn't go with the big names, Jack Mickle, Jack Williams, Jimmy Mickle, like the big names, the older guys. No, they went with the people who are most have the best athleticism mixed with talent, like who are good right now. And there's a lot of like low key, like really good players, low key grinders on this team, like names that aren't like huge, but man, are they?
So they built a team.
They built a team. They built just like Team USA for Olympics, there may be some better players out there in specific spots, but I mean you just like there's a reason they're just like destroying Japan right now. And it's like it's not even close. It's bad.
Tobias
It's a
Brooks.
murder. No, he's not there. Not quite there. Not quite there. But
Weddingale?
he is on the Johnny Bravo, who just won Pro Champs, I want to say. So
Of course
some
they
of the
did, man.
best
Tobias
men's
Brooks.
team. I know he's cooking. He's cooking with his Colorado teammates on Johnny Bravo, team that won nationals 2 years ago. So
Oh, Hurts just fumbled the snap on a tush push attempt on third and
oh
goal.
snap. Are we having a
Fortunately,
Bills
Barkley was able to. Yeah, Bills versus the Vikings.
yeah, I know. 30 seconds left.
Fortunately, Barkley was able to recover it, but now it's fourth and goal. We got 30 seconds left. Sirianni's going to take a timeout while they set up this play. Would you go for this here?
No, No,
Up
it's
to,
4th and goal. Oh, you go for the 10? Oh.
up
Yeah, no,
to,
you just take your 3. Force him to
make
get a
it 2
touchdown.
scores. They have 30 seconds, no timeouts. They would have to
I
go
mean,
the
you
length
gotta
of the
trust
field.
your, yeah, you gotta trust your defense.
But if you're going
Um,
to trust your defense, do you make them go, length of the field to field goal position, or do you go kickoff to touchdown?
Wait, what? Oh, you mean like, I mean, if you
Oh, they
make
are
this
okay. They are going to
3,
kick the field goal. They're bringing Elliott back
yeah,
out.
so then they're gonna have him still go the full length. Yeah, for a touchdown. Yeah. Oh, flag on the field. All right, is it a first down again? Yeah, is Jalen Hurts getting back out there to need the ball?
Wait, what happened? Did somebody jump off sides?
What's homie saying?
Was there a personal foul?
Wow, someone jumped off sides. That's GG. GG.
Offsides? So on fourth and
Wow.
goal, offsides is an
Yeah.
automatic first down?
Yeah. Wait, why was it declined?
Wow.
Wait, what? Penalty declined? Am I stupid here? I think it would have just been a replay of downs, right? Or am I wilding out?
Yeah, if they
I don't.
declined it, it would have been a
Okay.
replay on down. Yes.
Or they accepted it. I mean, also shout out
No.
John Randolph, my favorite player right now.
Who? Oh, for USA.
It's just yeah, I'm just shouting out at Frisbee Union. No, okay. I thought it would give them a first down. Like that's why they do the fake at the line where they're like hut 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 hut.
I guess
Right?
they would if it was like a fourth and inches situation, but I guess on fourth and goal, or maybe for a field goal attempt, they just I bet it's because it was just fourth and goal instead of a normal
Yeah.
first down. They just replay the down instead of giving them a because if you give a 4 fresh set of downs for an offsides on fourth and goal, it's kind of brutal. But 27 seconds left. A miracle play, obviously not off the table, but it's going to take a lot.
First return touchdown with the new rules.
I was going to say, so how does this work with those new
Oh,
rules?
okay.
Because there's
So they
that
can only
landing zone.
yeah, they
So how
can
does
only
that
start
work?
moving once he catches the ball and goes. And if it lands outside of the end zone, in that zone, he has to return it.
So that's what I'm saying. He can't fair catch it in that landing zone.
Yeah, he can't just kneel it.
So you could pin him deep. Okay, he's kicking it into the
Yeah.
end zone. He's taking it out.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah. Yeah.
idea. He made it to the 16.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
But
These
don't
late game situations, they usually go for it. They try to get it.
don't touchbacks go out to the 30 now?
Yeah. No, that is true. But there's always a chance of a touchdown. Excuse
So he just lost 15 yards on that.
me. Yep. Yep.
That's brutal.
But there's always a chance of a touchdown. You got to roll the dice.
So let's see if do we go hook and ladder? Is it trick play time?
Hmm.
Oh, he got read down the field.
Oh gosh. Of course, the one time my stream goes down.
They're still alive, folks. The Packers are still alive.
Wow.
Jaden Reed rolling out to the sideline. Or Love rolling out
Man,
to the sideline to
I'm
Jaden
just
Reed, yeah.
loving the throws all to him. Keep them going.
Sam will take all the fantasy points. Oh, what is happening?
Oh,
Jordan
someone's
Love.
hurt. He got hit. Malik
Is Love
Willis
down?
not throwing up, throwing throws on the sideline.
Oh, Jordan Love is down.
Jeez.
The NFL's $6 million man, 200 and $300 million man, however much he is.
Oh, he tried to toss it. Oh yeah,
A
his leg got.
lateral play to keep it alive, to keep the play alive. Getting the ball to midfield, incredible with 15 seconds left. The lateral, though, to keep the play alive and get the extra 6 yards. I don't know. Is that Malik
Yeah.
Willis warming up? So what is this, an ankle
Yeah.
situation? Oh yeah, he rolled his ankle.
Oh, holy cow. That's Michaeling. Holy cow. Sorry,
Who's he
just
play for? Who he play for?
Revolver. He's the one I was getting the emails from. His brother, Henry, monster player. I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched his older brother, though. Jeez. See, that's again another low-key, really good player that people just don't know about. Like low-key great player. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, shout out, man, all love for Jordan Love out there giving his best. Malik Willis is gonna come in 6 minutes, 6 seconds. Imagine you're the Packers GM right now, the heart attack you're having. Like
I know luckily
the
he's walking
high,
off a little bit under his own power.
yeah.
Now there's an offensive lineman going out too. This is
Nick
crazy.
off.
Malik Willis for his
Yeah,
career, 3 picks, no touchdowns.
well, let's see if he gets his first one right here.
I say he has a better chance of going to 4 picks, no touchdowns.
Oh, well, he's got to complete a pass first. Having trouble doing that.
Wait, did it happen? Did it just happen?
Well, I'm on
Oh,
third down. Yeah, I'm ahead a little bit.
did it get a playoff?
34-29 Eagles in San Paulo.
Oh, Malik Willis immediately right into the feet of Dobbs. Malik Willis not looking like he's going to get a $250 million contract from the Packers. They didn't run Love out there for the next play, though. Man's down bad.
Yeah.
Because you
Yep,
never
yep,
know.
yep,
Rolled
yep.
ankle, maybe it could, if it's just like a low key kind of rolled ankle, maybe he's able to shake it off. But, he could also, it could be a high ankle sprain, and now Jordan Love's just dealing with that for the rest of the season. And Malik Willis,
Yep.
nobody in the Packers slips in the second half except for Malik Willis at the end of the game. Gets sacked. Big win for the Eagles to start 1-0. I don't know what their upcoming schedule looks like, but again, a team that could have had bad vibes going into the season. And with a Packers team, a young Packers team, like you're saying, it's just like everything is up from here. I mean, it could have been like they could have gone in and stolen the Eagles' good vibes and just collected those to start the year. But the Eagles stay strong to start 1-0. Wait, so is this on UFA TV or do I have to get an Ulti-World app?
It's Ulti-World, but yeah, he may have been given some login stuff. Yeah, no, it's tough for the Packers. They just, yeah, I don't know what happened. They just fell apart. There's too many drives where they didn't score. Oh wow, Rowan McDonald put the disc down. But yeah, no, I just keep blubbering about the team. I mean, it's just all the non like superstars, like people they talk about on here. Mac Hecht, like Frisbee people know, but like, mainstream, not
The real ones,
really.
no.
Real ones know. Um, I mean, I recognize a lot of these players, but Nate Goff, that's also another really good player. He was on the World Games team, because he's just huge. Uh, yeah.
Am I up
And it's
next or are you
just,
up next for picks?
I think I'm up next.
Okay.
There we go. Who else?
I think we've only got a couple
Ah,
more left.
yeah, there's barely any. How many do we even go to?
I think we've got like 3 games left.
Yeah, it's Bengals, Patriots, Bears, Titans,
It's
Cowboys, Browns. Oh, Commanders, Buccaneers too.
it's Panthers, Saints, Giants, Vikings, Commanders, Bucks, and Bengals, Patriots. Cowboys, Browns.
So I'll take the Commanders over the Bucks.
Oh, I like that pick.
Jaden Daniels on the road. I think he gets it done.
This is not obviously Bo Nix in Seattle level to start, but the
Yeah.
Bucks are a veteran team. The
Yeah, a little
Commanders
bit more.
are on the road, so it's not ideal, but I do think that this
McLaurin.
Commanders offense is going to become explosive at some point over the season. Pause. So why not start in week one? Jade Daniels. I mean, Caleb Williams is going to have a hot start. Why not? Why not Jade Daniels too?
Yeah.
And he looked great in the preseason. Dropped that deep ball in first pass. So it might be the same situation with uh Williams and Levis. Like, do you think Jaden Williams could be a better QB right now than Baker Mayfield, like in week one? I wouldn't put it past him.
Do I think who would be a better QB than Jaden?
Baker over Jaden over Baker?
Yeah, I think he could be. I think he could be. If he shows what he did at LSU, if he's able to translate that to NFL, just hope, when you start talking about running quarterbacks and commanders, you start thinking about RG3 and stuff and company, or a little worrisome. But I mean, they got Terry McLaurin, trying to think who else.
De'Ame Brown?
Hmm.
Do they have Zacchaeus as their third receiver? I forget who their
Zacchaeus was.
number three man, but how do I find this game on Ultiworld?
So it's like you go to videos. Well, right now they don't have anything live, so I'm just watching the older ones. But let me see if
Oh,
because the here, I'll send you the link for the women's. But yeah, this one is easily going to be the best game out of them all. Like
oh
it's
yeah,
not
here's the
even.
upcoming one. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm watching through the men's. Um, I guess USA went up 5-0. And they went up, yeah, 5-0, and then Japan came back to, well, they held one time. They scored when they should have one time, and then got another, then actually broke them. So, but let me see here. Let me pull up the Commanders roster. Who else was on there? I knew there were
They
some
brought in
better
Eckler
players.
this offseason too.
Eckler, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, I mean, even
Go
though
with
he got
Quentin
injured a
Robinson.
lot, which I will always hold against him, that hurts. Yeah, you do have Zacchaeus, Zach Ertz as well. And then on defense, Clinton Farrell, Jonathan Allen, Bobby Wagner, Dante Fowler Jr. There are a lot of has-beens, but it's better than what they had before. Andrew Wiley on that, and Allegretti, former Chiefs, Nick Allegretti and Andrew Wiley on that O line. Is that good or bad? I don't know. We'll
I
find
was say, is
out.
that the O line that got replaced? What a shot to Jalen Hurts. They gave the game balls to AJ Brown and Saquon,
Yikes.
but not Hurts.
Well, did he throw a pick? I don't know.
He had a pick. There was a fumble. There was 3 or 4 almost interceptions as well too.
Yeah.
They said he essentially got carried by his skill guys, but
I'm
are you?
not surprised.
I think it's time I could take a swing this late in the draft. I'm going to take the Panthers over the Saints. Give me
Okay.
Bryce Young, baby.
That's crazy. How many
I,
wins did they have last year?
3, 4, 2.
Yeah,
Did
I
they
don't
win a
know.
game? Who'd they beat? I don't even remember who they
Didn't
beat.
feel like it. I don't know who they beat. I think they got one win.
But put the Saints in, let's put the Saints in Shador Saunders watch. I'll do it to start the season. I don't care. They're going to be bad.
Shadur Shadur Sanders watch. Do you think this is Bryce Young's last year chance, like his second year in?
Well, I think he plays next year unless it's they can just take a quarterback, I guess, but they could still have that one more season of like, well, he's still under the rookie contract, we might as well
No.
keep him around at least to have that flexibility to build out the rest of the roster a little bit. But this is definitely his last season where he has full confidence, like in the team, as terms of can we build the franchise around him going forward? Because if he's bad again, then yeah, I mean, even if he's good next year, it's still trade bait and like Justin Fields got replaced
Yeah,
as well too. So, and
yeah, you
that's a
did, yeah.
little bit different, but like we're saying, you can turn it around, but at some point they start to lose confidence in you. And yeah, I mean, you could even say, week 9, week 10, maybe it's not even the full season. If it's a really rough couple of
Yeah.
months to start, I mean, they could just say we're out right away.
Well, and that's the issue I had with Bryce Young, and that what's the upside? Like, if it's clear his being undersized doesn't translate, then where are we seeing the upside? Like, what, he could maybe develop better as a passer, but if he's too short, he's too short. Like, and I mean, how many pounds can he really put on that frame? And that's why I did not like him as that first overall draft pick. And I stand by. I said in the moment I would have taken CJ Stroud over him.
And Richardson.
I don't know about Richardson, but I do still stand by. I would have taken CJ Stroud over him. In the moment, I did not like him as the first overall pick. And so far, I
But
haven't
I
been
think
proven
against the
wrong.
Saints this week, this might be one of the few games where he might be the better QB
Yeah,
on
he
the
might
field.
actually do it. Over Derek Carr. I know that the Saints really hate Derek Carr. If they
The
if they start going down, there's gonna be a lot of booing.
the the training camp stuff that you read about Derek Carr and the way the Saints offense has looked has not been good.
Well, even their own receivers. What was that one interview? He's like, so what about you guys have you seen that's like, oh, we're good this year? And he couldn't even name anything. He's just like,
Oh,
yeah,
gee,
no,
was that
yeah.
Olave?
I don't know, but there's a clip going around where he couldn't even name anything. And I'm like, all right.
Yep. Raiders are in Shador Saunders' watch. Saints are in Shador Saunders' watch. Um, maybe the Bucks too,
You know.
but definitely the Saints and the Raiders for me. I think those two teams are going to really struggle.
Saints and Raiders. Okay. Yeah, no, that's I don't you think Shador is gonna be the QB1 of the next draft?
Right now, that's where I would lean, but it does seem like the consensus is still Carson Beck. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
As long as Travis Hunter is alive and healthy, I think there is a chance that he could put up good enough stats to be the number one. But once Travis is gone, it's like, yeah, it just
But
dips so
Shador's
much.
out this year too, so it kind of lines up perfect for him.
Oh, what do you mean he's out? I thought he was playing.
Like he'll be in the draft after this year.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll both just leave together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but Travis was hurt last year, so
Yeah.
it was a yikes.
But I thought from a tape and evaluation standpoint, I mean, I still was super in on what Shador did even without Travis Hunter. So I
Yeah.
think that could be a little more success of Colorado versus what, Shador Sanders is actually able to put up on tape. But
Hmm.
do you want to fire off these last couple picks quick?
Yeah. Is there one game left or
We've
because we
got
had three when I started,
we've got
and then I pick
Giants,
one, you pick one.
Vikings, Browns, Cowboys, and Bengals, Patriots.
Oh, so we had five. Okay, so yeah, Patriots, Bengals,
Browns,
Cowboys,
Cowboys,
Browns, and then
Giants, Vikings.
Giants, Vikings. I don't want to touch that Giants Vikings game with a 10
That's just a
football. It's
boring bad game.
yeah, like football. I mean, I'll go with the Bengals over Pats. I mean,
Hmm.
long term, I worry about the Bengals in terms of Joe Burrow stayed healthy, but especially Jacoby Brissett starting,
I will say, because I'm not super convicted either way on a lot of these games,
Mm,
that means there's not a lot of upset potential this week.
yeah.
And this is one of the few games where there is upset potential. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to not really dip into this game at all, just because this is one of the few games where there is actually quite a bit of points on the spread for the Patriots. But I mean, yeah, it's the Bengals, and I mean, the talent gap, you'd assume they get it done. I guess I'll take the. Ooh, well, do I want to do it? Yeah, I'll take the Browns over the Cowboys. That's kind of a feisty pick at the end of the draft.
Yeah. Browns over the Cowboys. All right.
And it's more, I think this might be a Cowboy struggle year. I think, the Browns might be kind of up and down this year as well, too. But Dak could definitely struggle against that Browns offensive line. And I think the Browns could definitely put together a few big plays on offense. Maybe it's not a offense that's consistently moving the ball up and down the field or consistently looks that good, but it's going to be an offense that's aggressive. And Watson, he might not be the same guy, but he might hit a play or two every now and then and get a score, and still might be able to at least string together some stuff to keep the Browns offense afloat. Maybe it's not even Flacco level last year, but week one, I think they could would that be an upset? Let me see if that's an upset, but I think they could definitely get the win over Dallas.
Wow, really? Okay. I mean, I am concerned about their uh about the runners, or not the runners, running backs
Oh, Dallas is a home
for
under. Oh
Dallas,
no, they're on the
but
road. Never mind. Dallas
yeah,
is
they
the
are on the
underdog.
run, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, I do think the Browns could be good. Um I mean, well, we'll really have to see from Deshaun. He hasn't been good in like years, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not looking too good. Um, Also, another quick frisbee thing because I'm constantly nerding out about them. It looked like they had like almost a third of their team for Japan returned from the 2016 team, while USA had only two. So, also another note, they had a lot of older guys on their team.
I was
Probably why
saying
the
that means
guys had.
Japan's old.
Yeah. Also, they also scored
Washed.
like 0 points in the second half. So, and that's like really hard to do in frisbee, let alone at a world's level, like against the second best team in the world. Yeah, that's yeah, thanks. But anyway, let's see here. Do you want to do? Did we have anything for the truth corner? I mean, I was mostly calling out Lamar, piercing truth. Moving on to the
Calling out
corners.
Lamar. Let me see. There was a couple of headlines that I thought I saw. There was a soccer player that apparently blew his back out because of a sneeze.
Hey, yo.
Pause. And had to go to the hospital. The quote from one of the other people on the team was, Victor, his name is Victor. Victor is a powerful boy. Even his sneezes are powerful, but he had a sneeze apparently so aggressive that the man injured his back and had to miss some time.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I don't know. I
Imagine
feel like,
blowing your own back out.
yeah,
Actually,
that's crazy.
you're in
I
the
feel like you're
hospital,
kind
like,
of an aggressive sneezer.
jeez, you're one of those.
I feel like that's definitely an old guy thing as well too. A lot of grandpas out there are just
Yeah,
mad sneezing all over the place.
no, you
But
already know.
maybe Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, a little more discreet with some of the sneezes. But make no mistake, the boomers love to just let a sneeze go. A boomer will rip sneezes all day.
Just let them fly.
I don't know if you have any good sneeze stories.
How'd you? No, not
Top five
really.
sneezes.
But something that was crazy happening because of the game. So X/Twitter is banned in Brazil. So NFL reporters had to text their tweets to their spouses to post it because
Oh
they
yeah.
can't. Yeah, because X is banned. So
Oh.
yeah, if you see any misspellings in reporters' tweets, just know it's because they literally can't post unless you use a
Miss
VPN or something.
Schefter
I
has
don't
got to
know.
fire up the old Twitter.
I know.
What is Schefter going to do without his social media over there in Brazil? That's kind of crazy. I wonder
Yeah,
if he
who
even
knows?
went. He probably stayed. There was also this story that the Sixers are seriously considering moving to New Jersey
Oh, I saw
after
that.
their
Yeah.
lease is up for the Wells Fargo Arena in 2031. So 2031, I know you got to start planning the stadium stuff out years in advance because if you don't
Yeah.
get it, maybe you got to build something, you got to get the project
Hmm.
started, but this also sounds like a leverage play to me. I don't know. Do you
It
ever see the
always
Sixers
is.
leaving Philly?
I mean, what was it? A couple weeks or a couple days there where we were talking about the Chiefs moving to Dallas, moving to where was it? Somewhere in Texas, Austin or something. I don't know. It's just, it's the usual thing by the professional team where they're trying to force the locals to pay for a new stadium for them, and usually they get their way because everyone loves the team and blah blah blah. And it's kind of sad. It's one of the most um shark-like tactics by the NFL and other professional teams. I mean, Chiefs are probably moving to Kansas because of it. Even though they barely pay for any facilities as is. Um, but yeah, no, you know, it's something these professional teams keep doing and something that voters keep allowing them to do, even though they definitely have money to finance their own stadiums.
In the Sixers as well, too, just one of the more at least passionate fan bases of any NBA team. And just a historic franchise, they're not going anywhere
Yeah,
anytime soon. But
who knows?
there was also this story that Giannis said he would offer $1 million for this special one of one trading card that is a LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant Team USA card. And it's got all three of their autographs on it. And it's a one of one. And right now it's valued at 500K. And he said he was willing to double the offer, which would make it $1 million.
That's crazy.
Which I don't know what the most expensive basketball card is, but that's definitely got to be in the mix. So Giannis, man, and just I don't know, seeing Giannis as a fan of the game as well too, looking up to these other guys.
Yeah. No, I shout out to Giannis for that. Always trying to get in the headlines. I really, yeah. I mean, I think people would say like the Oakland Raiders were a historical team. I think I mean, we've
But
definitely
they
seen
moved around
franchises
though.
move. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's any team that's safe from being moved if there's enough money. Because at the end of the day, they're businesses. And if the family just wants, whoever owns them wants their money, they're gonna move. They're gonna move. Now, thankfully, a lot of the historic franchises are owned by families, who don't really want to mess with what's going on. But I mean, if you get some new owners in a certain franchise, who knows?
Yeah, I mean the Colts literally packed up and just moved in the middle of the night. But there's also a report that Wendy's is releasing a real life Krabby Patty this fall.
Are you really? Seriously?
They're doing the Krabby Patty. So I've never been a big
That's crazy.
SpongeBob guy. My brother is. I know, obviously everybody knows SpongeBob people. Everybody has
Yeah.
SpongeBob people in their lives, but we all know about the Krabby Patty. Are you a SpongeBob person?
No, never really. My parents didn't allow me to watch it growing up.
Wow, 0 for 2 SpongeBob people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a 50-50 split usually. Somebody watched it and somebody didn't, but look at that. Look at us. Both of us are cool.
Yeah. Oh, something else that was piercing truth. Pacheco during the touchdown, and during the touchdown when Mahomes came and pushed him to push him in for one of the scores. He said he didn't know where it came from, and it's calling, saying that's family from Mahomes. How many quarterbacks in the league are running into the pile to push their running back to get a touchdown for a regular season game? Like,
Ooh.
I don't know. Is Mahomes 1-of-1 in that respect? I don't think so. But I think he's definitely 1 of 5.
One of a handful.
Like, how many are doing that?
Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson. Those four.
He said Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, Richardson. Richardson's doing it, yeah. He's probably hurting himself too in the process. Um, CJ
Burrow.
Stroud, no, Burrow ain't doing it, and he probably shouldn't.
Burrow, stay
Do you
away.
think Stroud would?
Baker Mayfield.
Hmm, I don't know about that one.
Aiden O'Connell fighting for his life, trying to save his job. Get in the
And
end zone,
O'Connell,
man.
no, for sure.
Deshaun Watson, no. Maybe Fields.
Maybe.
Will Levis. Will Levis, definitely.
Yeah. Well, Levis, nah, I don't know. Maybe if there's coffee with mayo there or something.
Will Levis pick the running back up and carry him into the end zone himself?
Whoa, lots of love for Will Levis here.
No, I'm just saying the man's aggressive guy.
No, he is. He is
Teed
real
up.
aggressive. Teed up. Let me see what else.
If the computer I had could load properly, we'd watch this video of Ludacris drinking water, but
That's
unfortunately we're gonna
crazy.
have to pass.
Um,
Or
what's
this
their
edit.
face?
Did you see this edit of like NBA players in like fantasy, like ancient medieval time type settings, like Game of Thrones characters?
Mm.
Did you see this? I'll send this to you. There are some cool ones.
Also, 17% of WNBA flagrants involve Caitlin Clark, almost 20%. And 80% of those are from the Chicago Sky. So, yeah, she got to watch out. She got to watch out.
And how many
And
of
in
those are
case
that just that one player too?
Angel Reese, I don't know.
Not Reese. Wasn't there the other one that was like checking her early in the season?
Oh, yeah, Carpenter.
Carpenter is
Let's see.
responsible for. She's the Draymond. I feel like we probably made that comp too when it happened, but
Oh, Chennedy Carter. Yeah, she was about to get killed. I think there's some great stats I was seeing about her where she was like, no, she's been playing out of her mind.
mm,
I think she was like first rookie to have a triple double, and then 1 of 5 players to have multiple triple doubles in a season. And I mean, what, they're 15-6, I want to say.
in the playoffs.
They're definitely in the playoffs. They're third in their own division, 6 overall.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, okay, I don't think it's 15-6 anymore because they just lost to the Lynx. But I definitely think they're making the playoffs, and it's just like I just for me, I'm like always just imagine you had a rookie player like this in NBA taking their team to a top, top 3 seed, top 4 or 5. I mean, there's
mm.
more teams in the NBA, so it's a little different. But definitely a playoff seed after being one of the worst the season before. And I think I saw a stat from their social media team, like they have the most views out of any team in any team or league. So
Wow,
it's
more than the
Carter and the
UFC,
click.
more than slap fights.
I think it's the major 4 sports.
Yeah, because nobody competes with power slap.
Never, never. I don't know how they got that stat. Might be fake, but there's ways you can MacGyver
Well,
stats
that
for
stat was
social
pre
media.
Caitlin
You're
Clark.
like you're like most views gained in 5 seconds content in the last year or something like that,
He's like, we've got more viewed slaps than any of the other leagues combined. It's like, yeah, well, it's a slapping league.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Was there anything else? Do we want to do one final update on the? I guess the game hasn't started yet before Frisbee
Yeah.
Corner. I was gonna say, do you want to update
No,
us
it
quick?
starts in
But
15 minutes. Again, Colombia, their defense is great. Their athleticism is insane, and they have a couple of sisters playing well. They're the club team from Colombia 2 years ago in the club championships won it. They beat San Francisco Fury. So, you know, they have that world level experience of winning. What's of course for a club. They did add some out of town players like Germany's best player. Um, but it's not the first time they beat USA women's earlier. They beat them this week, I think a couple days ago. So there's no reason they can't beat them tonight. And us Frisbee fans are always fans of the underdog. Always want the underdog to come up and win, which so far hasn't happened. USA has won in the men's and mixed by a significant amount. Wasn't particularly close games.
Eustace starts in 15, now 14 minutes. Let me grab a coffee and a granola bar, and we can go live.
Oh, whoa!
That's all I need. I'll be back in.
He's back in. As for soccer, Premier League has started. I mean, all the club stuff has started, and right now they're doing Nations League, so it's all their own international teams are playing. Um, De Bruyne had two goals and score, and 2 goals and a 3-1 win. But France, Mbappe's been looking kind of bad lately. France lost to Italy 3-1. Let me see if Holland did anything. He's been on a tear for his club. Already 2 hat-tricks in 3 games, I want to say, or 2 games. Um, yeah, it looks like they didn't score any games, which is kind of crazy, or score any goals. Had 19 shots, 2 on target, even though Holland was playing against Kazakhstan. It's always interesting to see these. Every once in a while, you'll get like a 7-1 game. Yeah, Belgium beat Israel 3-1. That's who they want to beat. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Yeah, I'm just finishing watching the US against Japan, and yeah, it's crazy. Japan, I don't know. It's just that little bit of athleticism from, 20-ish-year-olds to 30-year-olds. And it's not a lot, but you can tell Frisbee it's thin margins. It's just a little bit faster, a little higher jumping. It's just bound to happen.
Okay, IT says that the person that was performing at halftime, the dancer, the singer, was
Yeah.
her name's Anita.
Anita, yeah. Anita Maxwing.
Anitta.
Mm.
32.5 million listeners on Spotify
Okay.
with an album this year called Funk Generation. Couple
Sounds like
other
IT
albums.
is one of them. Doing a lot of research there, IT.
Yeah, we got her page pulled up here. Couple other albums as well too. Some going back to 2013, but Funk Generation, the newest one, we might
Wow.
throw this on.
Who
Give it a
knows?
listen. It's only 35 minutes too. That's enticing.
Yeah. Shout out Bay Area legend Michael Lang. Right now, watching this game over, I think he caught 2 scores. He did have a turnover, but you see, the thing I love about Frisbee most times is if you do mess up, most times have a chance to make up for it on defense. And so
Hmm.
that's what you call redemption. You drop the disc, but you better work your butt off to get it right back. And Ing did it the one time he dropped the disc. Why Revolver is big reason why Revolver is going to be um, making a lot of noise at nationals this year. We'll see.
So
Yeah,
before we
we'll
go, we
see.
should just in case the people aren't aware
Yeah.
yet, like we said, we're gonna keep trying to go live at some point during these games. So just stay tuned to the feeds. Once the new equipment gets in, we'll be able to try to get this set up and get the live watches back underway. But I mean, like we're saying, we're still gonna try to keep stuff, business as usual, hanging out, having a good time, but we'll just try to go live. So
Yeah.
stay tuned, but keep a lookout for that as well too, because that's something we're definitely going to try to do in the future more consistently. It's just we don't have the equipment to be able to do it yet. So once we get locked back in and loaded, we will be up and going on Rem and Sam podcast on the YouTube page. And we may try to be available on a couple other platforms as well too. IT's been looking at some interesting stuff. And obviously, YouTube is a top dog, but there's some other places out there that are just easily accessible and maybe just a good place to be available on as well too. So we'll probably be Rem and Sam podcast on whatever that is too. But just like I'm saying, stay tuned. The Instagram page also has the link tree with all the bios. So any the links in the bios and all the other links to all the different pages. So as we continue to add stuff and to be available on different things, you can always go there for kind of the main thing to locate all the different links. But yeah, stay tuned. We got big, exciting stuff we're working on in the future for sure.
Yeah, make sure you're tapped into all of it because we're having live, not only live reacts, but maybe instant reactions after games.
Yeah. The
Rem
YouTube
quickly
is
putting up a post,
yeah.
like.
We're definitely trying to continue to add more stuff. We got the live watches, but messing around with some of the shorts as well too, trying to continue to bulk that up as well. Rem and Sam from every angle, baby. We're out there.
We are out there. We are out there. And so no excuse for you to go and follow. It's all free online, all the platforms. And shout out also Pura Vida. Any of your bracelet, ring, jewelry needs, they got you. Check the links in the bio to support the pod. And but yeah, I think that's about it. I know we got this Colombia against the US women's game coming up
Let's
here
go
pretty soon.
USA, baby.
Let me see if they're doing pregame stuff yet or oh, it's live. It's live right now. Let me pull it up.
Do we got
Let's see where.
the broadcast is going? We got
Okay,
action.
okay. They're just doing pregame. Pregame people yapping. Just yapping on the desk. And, teams, of course, are playing. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. The teams that are playing are qualified, but teams in this division, in this competition, were also qualifying for world games. So there's a difference. This is a frisbee only competition. And then, like and then kind of in the half of the world cycle, every 2 year or like 4 years is um, this worlds, and then 2 years in they have a world games where it's combined with all these other games, and that team is a lot tougher because it's a lot tougher to play because they only allow 14 players for each team, while for the worlds they allow like the normal 20, 23, I think 25 or 30. I'm trying to remember, either 25 or
All
30.
three of these people
So
just picked Colombia.
yeah, that's crazy. Did they?
Yeah.
Wow, they did. Oh my gosh. The broadcasters, the American, I'm sure, maybe not they're all American, but the broadcast all picking going against Colombia. USA going in as the underdogs. Trust me, this is like the one time in the last 4 to 8 years. Like I don't even remember the last time USA is going into a game as an underdog in frisbee. Like we're just always dominating, and for them to in as the underdog. I mean, this probably hasn't happened since the club championship that the Colombian team from Medellin, Pablo Escobar's hometown, is from.
Pablo Escobar is funding a frisbee team.
Well, who knows? From jail? I don't think so, but
A high level, very successful frisbee team is being funded by Pablo Escobar.
oh,
Makes
women's
no
team.
makes
I don't
sense.
know.
They would have the
Did he
funds.
get over his misogyny to do?
Maybe that's maybe his misogyny is part of it. Is he still alive?
I don't know. I don't think so. Didn't he get like a STD in jail or something?
No way. Did he really?
No, I know Al Capone did.
I knew it. Obviously, I knew Al Capone went to jail. I didn't realize he got cleaned out by a guy and got an STD. But I guess it's jail, and he was in there for a while.
I mean, of course he was
It's
sneaking
gonna
people in.
happen. Probably not the cleanest place either. You think Al Capone would be able to get some
Oh, that was Revelation.
contraband,
I don't know.
some condoms?
Something.
Wait, who are we just looking up? Not Al Capone. Who's the other guy?
Oh, it is Medellin where they're from. Um,
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar, yeah.
Oh yeah, he died in '93. Never mind.
Yeah. I
Who's the
guess he
other guy?
wasn't born in Medellin, but he loved him, apparently.
Who's the guy that's alive right now? El Chapo?
Yeah. His son is, I know for sure. Because I
Yeah,
think he's the
El
one running
Chapo's
the
alive right now.
organization. Don't come
Luis
at us.
Guzman?
Oh,
Oh,
Guzman, yeah, yeah.
Joaquin Guzman.
Joaquin.
So no STDs for El Chapo. Believed to be responsible for the deaths of over 34,000 people?
Yeah. They
Jesus,
were
El
putting in
Chapo.
work.
El
They were
Chapo's
putting in
putting in the
work.
work.
I mean, I guess if you're counting cocaine deaths.
Hmm. Man, El Chapo out of the game before fentanyl. Just
Thomas
missed his
Edmonds,
window.
that's another good
Wrong
play.
era for El
Guchahanis.
Chapo.
El Chapo.
Imagine the numbers he would have put up
Anders
today.
Youngst. About order. Who's that again? Who knows? Also, shout out all the players who are actually playing in this world. It costs 3,500 just to play for a week, just
Whoa.
to travel and stuff. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, Lee is Michael Inga. Gee, I'm so happy I didn't go to a revolver tryout. Oh my gosh, what a layout.
No, you
Jeez,
gotta go.
Louise.
You gotta go hang with the top dogs. Go
With
see
the
what's up.
world's players.
Yeah, if you can get in, that'd be fun. If you're telling me I can go play in an NBA game right now, I'd go do it, even though I'd get crushed.
An NBA tryout.
Yeah, I'd still go. I'd get embarrassed in an
I
NBA
mean,
tryout.
it was, I could have definitely gone to a second or third round tryout. I just didn't want to because I was like, I'm not trying to get crushed right now. My self-esteem was definitely in the dumps already. So it was like, hey, do I want to get like yelled in the face and spiked at and screamed at? I'm good. Yeah, men's frisbee gets pretty toxic pretty quick.
Wait, what just happened to my stream? Where'd it go? Am I watching the right one? Is it the women's game that's up next?
Yeah, it should
Okay.
be.
Okay. I thought I was watching mixed for a second, but I think I'm locked in.
Mm,
Who's our best player? Claire Taupe?
oh, Claire Troop.
Claire
She's
Troop?
great. Yep. Yep.
They just showed her. Okay, well, we better put a bow on it and get to watching this game. We're out. Rem and Sam podcast on Instagram, Rem and Sam podcast on
Yep.
YouTube.
Check it out. Check the links below. All right. We'll see y'all sometime. Have a good night.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back whenever.